Hello, everybody. I think I'm echoing. I think I messed up something. Testing. I'm not sure why I'm echoing. Testing. 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 Can you guys? Okay, sorry, G Mama. I kicked myself out. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear myself. It was echoing before. Good morning, G Mama. Good morning, Darth X. Let me know if you can hear me. Am I being heard? Is my mic on? Okay, good. Okay, sorry. It was echoing before. Now I can't hear myself. I am off today. I'm supposed to be transplanting my plants, and I'm feeling lazy right now, so I ain't doing a damn thing. Good morning, Salon Diva. So I'm gonna chit chat with you guys. 'Cause I didn't go live on Saturday and get some more motivation to plant these. Man, I cut back every year, and I don't cut back enough. So this is my eggplant. This is pretty huge. So I got some stuff to plant. There's more stuff inside, but let's just touch base about gardening and life in general. The girls are over there, chickens are over there, and they're doing whatever. I planted, I did plant um, 9 tomatoes. I have about four more to plant from the pink Ponderosa tomatoes. And the okra, I'm gonna have the Clemson sweet, right? Not Clemson, the Clemson spineless right now, and I have the red ones inside. So I have quite a few more things to plant, not even mentioning the melons and the watermelons, the zucchinis, the squashes. Yeah, there's quite a few things I still need to plant. So I'm just here catching up with you all for a bit. And then I'm going to plant some more. I have my seedlings. My winter starts in the milk jugs or whatever didn't do that great. I put a lot of seeds in there and maybe three or four of the flowers, the marigolds, zinnias, and stuff germinated. I didn't get great germination. So I put some more in just regular pots right right there. So I have my I'll show you. Let's see, my nasturtiums. These are the calendula. A whole bunch of them popped up. And I use these plastic lids to kind of help them germinate when it was still cold. And right here is some Shasta daisies, and all of these are volunteers right here from my upper bed of some kind of cabbages. So I gave 8 to go to my dad's garden, and I'm gonna give 4 more away, and the rest I'll find spots here because it's free food. I have quite a bit of things every year. The same thing. I'm gonna cut back. I did cut back. I was more strategic in what I planted, but everything germinated and things popped up in the garden that. And you know what popped up, G Mama? I wasn't planting any cannabis. I was too late to start. Why do I find 5 that popped up? 3 over here and 2 in the other section that I had them. So now I have 5. I transplanted 4 of them and I left 1 in the ground. I just finished a plant party for my sunflowers and turmeric. Man, so things that I didn't intend on planting, they they planted for me. And then somebody gave me a plum tree for the second or third time because it kept dying. So she gave me a big branch, about 5, maybe 4 feet long. It already has leaves on it. Oh, girl, 5. I don't think I could show it because I had to put it on adult only, and it's so hard to figure it out on my damn phone. So I'm gonna, but I have 5 seedlings that came up on their own in Zone 5B. So that's thanks to the birds. The birds dropped those seeds down and they popped up. So, and the carpenter bees are really getting on my nerves. So yeah, and the fig trees, the figs are figging. I had to record I guess a spring tour, just a tour in general. My, I have to show you guys my bok choy though. The bok choy, this is the first time. These mesh bags are the best thing ever. So I covered the Swiss chard. I covered the Swiss chard because I'm getting a lot of leaf miners, and then I found this lettuce somewhere in the bed, so that's a volunteer. But these are the bok choys, one of them, anyways. There's no damage to any of the leaves, nothing, no aphids because it's under this mesh bag. I'm probably going too close, but anyways, it's covered up completely. So this is the first time I'm getting. The only thing that was damaged was the leaves touching the soil because of the potato bug. So I have 1, 2, 3. There's 2 in there, so that's 4, 5. So I have 6 bok choys that are, and then some figs and blueberry bushes. I have to organize it. It's a bit too messy for my taste, but at this point, I'm just tired, girl. I am tired. I lost 6 figs during the move. No figs for me. Man, that sucks. Yeah, I got 5. That sucks, man. I wonder. So the stems break off. Oh, that meshes the truth. The only thing I don't like is that the fabric grow bags, there's a lot of holes in them. So those roly polies, the mesh covers Darth X are, but the Amazon got smart. They got hip. They are not. They are the bags for paint straining 5-gallon buckets. But Amazon them got smart, and now it's labeled gardening slash paint whatever. And now the price has gone up, and then you get less bags in the pack. So the new one that I got for the Swiss chard, I got them delivered this week. It's not as wide, so it can't get around the 3-gallon grow bags. So it's going to be a bit more difficult to use them, but I'm not returning them. At this point, I can't be bothered. So the newer bags are not as big, not as stretchy. The bags from last season, the elastic kind of stretched out, but I know how to sew. So I can just take a piece of elastic and stitch it on, serge it on, or do a zigzag stitch, whatever, to make it back elastic. But that's the only thing. It doesn't have very good elastic. Yeah, it's just easier to buy them because it's not hard to make, but the time to make them. Now, if I'm gonna make them, I should have made them during the winter months where it wasn't a rush, and have them. But the new ones have a pull string. I'll have to go inside and get you guys one, but it's not as wide at the bottom, so it can't get over those pots. I want to try those ones and see. I probably will use those smaller pots, the 1-gallon nursery pots, because a bok choy can grow in there quite comfortably, 1 per pot, and cover them up. Hey, 10, just touching base with you all. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get motivated to transplant. You guys don't even know how much I have to transplant. It's behind my phone. It's on. Yeah, you guys don't want to see, but things are growing, and I'm going to be doing a lot of more intercropping. Hey, Virginia. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Be safe on the roads. I saw it's some tool from Amazon. Yeah, you gotta protect everything. This year I haven't had that much issues. You might hear some beeping in the background. It's those mole vole deterrent thingies that vibrate and make noise. They're beeping. I turn off the one nearest to me so it doesn't bug you guys, but it kind of helps with the squirrels. But they did dig up my spinach and dig up some of my lettuce, so they're covered back with a Dollarama or Dollar Tree garbage bags. There's no point of fighting. They're just always destructive. So everything is going to be covered because of the squirrels and the bugs. The leaf miner, I don't know what's going on, but all of my Swiss chard has leaf miner damage. So I can pick off those parts of the leaves, which I have, but I just give it to the chickens. I don't know what's going on. I did spray a little bit, but I don't want to be spraying too much. So I'm watching this fly. Like, what are you doing? I don't want to spray too much, so I think I'm just gonna cover them up and just make it easier. Um, that fly trap that you get from like the animal feed store for like for farms, I can smell it from here. It stinks. My sister's like, "Man, that chicken run stinks." I'm like, "No, it's not the chickens. It's the fly trap." So she went to the fly trap. She goes, "Oh my God, it stinks." But guess what? I don't see that many flies, and I've only put out one trap. I have two more to put out. So I'm gonna put one in the coop in that little structure there, and I gotta paint it because the carpenter bees, hey bud files, are just getting out of hand. And from what I've read, they don't like painted wood. So I'm gonna have to. You might see in the distance hovering around like a hovercraft. So annoying. And then the mosquitoes have bitten me alive because I don't know if you can see all that grass next to the lattice. Yeah, their neighbor's grass is about 2 feet high. So the mosquitoes are killing me. My spinach has a lot of leaf miners too. I can, yeah, I my spinach is at the front of my house, so maybe that's why the leaf miners haven't found it yet. But I have Swiss chard here and then Swiss chard behind the run to see, and they're both getting eaten alive. I don't even know what they. I think the eggs were under the leaf, so I sprayed them. But diatomaceous earth does not work with them, so I've read and I used it and it doesn't work. Once they hatch, it go right into into the leaf. So I sprayed it with some BT, but probably too late. So I'm gonna have to I'm just gonna cover them up and see if that helps because scheduling spraying is just too much work. I don't even know there was a thing as a potato. Yeah, you guys call them roly polies, but we call them potato bugs. The roly poliolies, those are potato bugs. But they're actually good. They compost the soil and they break it down. But when you have grow bags, they literally chew through the bags. And I'm seeing big, I'll show you one of the bags because you guys, you pay good money for these things and then you wonder what happened to your stuff mash up. So is my finger even in the shot? Yeah. So that's a hole. If you guys can see it, if I'm on it properly. I'm gonna have to turn the camera. Or so this, yeah, that's a hole. That's a big old hole in the bag. So the dirt just pours out. Oh, see the roly polies? See all of them there? Can you see them? And there's another hole, big old hole. And I think they're mating because one's on top of the other one. I think they're having a intimate moment. But the whole bag is there's roly polies on them. So they're great composters. You know, Broke Farmer was talking about that. They are great composters, but be careful where you place them or how many you get because you might be disappointed that your bags have all these holes. Good morning, Jamaica. Let me drop a link too, guys. So that I'm on my phone. 1 second. Invite guests. You'll be disappointed that you spent good money on these things, and then how do I comment? I'll post a comment. Give me a second here. Paste. Okay. I dropped the link. Yeah, your bags are all eaten up. So I have to try to find some kind of iron on something. I don't even know what I'm going to use to keep the dirt from rolling out. And then they eat, I'm telling you, they eat through the damn bag. Because that's not a squirrel, that's not a worm. It could be a worm too, but I think those are the roly polies because they're composting, they're chewing the stuff that's in the soil, they're breaking down stuff, and I guess the fabric feels the same, softness as soil. And all of my grow bags have holes, and they're in saucers, they're on trays, but they find a way in. And then the other bags have plant weeds growing on the bag because there's dirt on the bag, so now there's like seedlings attached to the bag, and I have like nature always finds a way. Yeah, roly polies. We call them potato bugs, but it's the same bug. It's the same bug. Yep, they ate through the bags. So just to let you guys know, grow bags are great for certain crops. They do require a lot more water. They dry out very quickly, yes. So you have to pick and choose what kind of plants you grow. Spring is very good for the grow bags for me. The heat of summer, not so much. Then I put them in a saucer and let them sit in a little bit of water so it's a little bit easier. The fabric will wick it up, the water. And you can use those drip feeds, those clay tips in a water bottle and let them drip into the soil. DIY kind of thing. But it's great for leafy greens. I've planted beans in them. I plant carrots, beets, not beets, carrots for sure. I want to try beets this year. I've planted, yeah, but I haven't really done anything like I've done a one cannabis in there before, but I prefer a pot for that because they need something more structure. They needed a big door, so yeah, they chewed two doors and a window pretty much. They eat So don't spend too much on fabric pots. You really not going to get that much life out of it. You'll get a few seasons, but I think it's season 3 and there's full of holes. And I have some brand new ones in the bag still that I didn't put them all out. So use what you're going to use. Don't put them all out. Use what you're going to actually use until they wear out and cannot be used anymore. Then replace them. But if you put them all out and they're just sitting here, they're going to chew through them, whether you planted them or not. If you have soil in them, that's it. I have asparagus in grow bags like that. Works okay, but asparagus needs more space. That's a thing. Yeah, some things need a bit more space, but sometimes it's good because you want them to be more compact, certain plants. But lettuce, leafy greens, spinach, beans, bush beans. I haven't done a cucumber in there or tomato, but they would be okay in there. But again, tomatoes need a lot of water, so you have to commit. So I like to use the pots that have self-watering sometimes, or who's fighting over there? These girls, always some kind of drama. But that's what I'm doing over here. But the mosquitoes are very, as talked to my neighbor. I've been waiting for him to do it voluntarily, but he hasn't mowed the lawn and it's getting out of hand. Doesn't matter how clean I keep my yard, if you're not gonna mow your lawn, the mosquitoes are just gonna take over the whole area. And the squirrels were in there hiding, the groundhog, the mice, like it's a problem. So I'm gonna have to speak to him. I don't want to have to call the city, but hopefully we can have a civilized conversation, and he can take care of. I usually do the front. I do both sides. My lawnmower not working. I had to borrow somebody's lawnmower, electric one actually, the plug-in ones. It actually worked okay, and they're on sale right now, so I might pick up one because the gas mower it works, but it's too heavy to lift up and down right now. My elbows, I injured my elbows. Both of them are kind of injured and inflamed. Lifting them up and down is too difficult. Emptying the oil out of it is a whole task, and lifting it, it's just a bit too much, and I can't really do all that lifting. So I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna pour out the gas that I just put in there and put the gas on the weeds, and then put the lawnmower back up and buy the electric one. It's only like right now $200, and it has a bag on it to catch the grass, which I put for the girls, and they just went through that, like mulched it up, ate what they wanted, found bugs. It was much easier to lift. It was very light. My neighbor's grass is so high. I don't like. And for those snakes in here, bro, tall grass means snakes. So yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to them. I don't like to be in everyone's business. It's like I like people to see off of my business. I see off of their business, but I can't even sit here and enjoy. I'm sitting here, but I'm being eaten alive. And I want to be able to be in my garden and just, enjoy the space. And I don't think mosquitoes are good to be around the chickens either. Excessive amount of bugs. So if everyone does their part, then we can all enjoy our backyard. Especially we have a short growing season. Like, come on, I don't want to waste it. But look at my volunteers. Let me show you guys. Excuse the ashy hands, guys. That's the ash. These are the volunteers. These are for hey Queen Shar. Oh, you have a gas one? Okay, I'll check with you, Shar. I can't manage the lifting. My elbows are kind of shot. Well, I must have did something. I don't know, but these are some. I don't know what they are. Some kind of cabbage or they're not kale. 'Cause I didn't, or it's something of that nature. Ugh, that's what's. So I have 24 of those. I went to church and gave everybody. Well, not everybody. 3 people. I gave out the cayenne peppers to certain people. Yellow Peruvian. I gave 2 people 3 types of tomatoes. I gave them one each, and I told them keep the seeds because that's pretty much it. Next year, I don't think I'm going to be giving away so many plants. And I gave my cousin 2 peppers, and I have to give another cousin two, yeah, 2 peppers. His wife grows hot peppers, and then that's it. And that's it. But yeah, I can't. I know it's hard to mow, and he seems busy, but trust me. So yeah, somebody loaned me their lawnmower, electric one. I plugged it in. I don't like the cord, but it wasn't too annoying. Like it wasn't that bad. It was light and it cut it very good. So we'll see. So what's up with everybody in the chat? And you guys can come up. Those of you who want to come up can come up. I know it's in the middle of the day for some of you, but I'm off today, so I'm just getting my garden situated. I'm gonna go run some errands, go to Costco, get some stuff organized. I gotta get some paint 'cause I want to paint some of the stuff. I want to do it myself because I've been asking people to paint for over a year to do certain things, and they're busy with bigger projects, and so it just keeps getting put off. I did check with the like Task Rabbit and stuff like that. Oh my God. People want to get rich off of one little job, it seems like. You know, the prices are ridiculous. So my dad has a paint sprayer, so I'm going to spray the fence myself and just figure it out and spray the shed behind me while the train's passing. And I'm gonna record some content today. I gotta up pot some stuff. I gotta do the herb garden challenge update, so I'll be doing some content, and I gotta get them off my phone. My phone's giving me that warning that the memory's too full. And I looked in the phone. I have stuff from last year that what is going on over there? From last year that I recorded, and it's still on my phone drive. So I need to take them off and put them on the external drive or something because or just actually edit the content and post it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hold on, let me see what's going on. I think I kicked myself out. Yeah, don't press buttons on your phone when you're in a live. But anyways, yeah, I need to clean my yeah. Um, I'm not good with the phone either with the editing, so I need an app. My phone can't hold no apps. I don't know what's going on with this phone. I think I have too much just foolishness on there. I'm gonna have to clean it off, get all these videos off. I think the videos are huge. The stuff that I recorded, especially chicken content, I'm gonna just take them off and label them as raw footage or something in my drive so I could find them again and start editing and getting them up. But if you're interested, let me know. Okay, I'll let you know, Shar. I'll let you know because the one I have is I don't think it's heavy, but I think I'm just my arms are just injured. I'm gotten to that age where I have to just be careful because I don't want to match up myself and then have problems because ain't nobody here to do the chores for me but me. That's why I'm thinking about moving because maybe I need to stop doing so much physical work. But I like having a garden. But like lifting up to go up there and chopping stuff, that part is a bit hard. It's become what's going on. Keep hearing the buzzing of the carpenter bee. When I look up, he's not that he or she's not there. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hey, David Corey. So I'm supposed to be planting something. So let me actually get the pot and plant something while I'm talking because that's the whole point of me being here. But I felt like yesterday I was working like a dog in the hot sun. We got a lot done at my parents' house though, not my house. I was there helping them, and then I was supposed to get some. I think the Wi-Fi just cut out. They gave me a whole basket full of strawberries to transplant here, so I have to transplant them today because they're gonna dry up. But I have a whole bunch of strawberries, healthy plants. Let me show you guys. Like literally ready to plant. They get a little dry now because they've been in the pot for 2 days. So let me get that transplanted before they die. I'm sitting on my balcony. Oh, it's collecting dust. But yeah, and I got my eggplants. I got some marigolds. I got my fennel. My fennel's gonna be covered with mesh because last year those black swallow-tailed butterflies they were great, but I don't have time for them this year. I need to get my food, so they gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go. But it's very humid here today in Toronto. It was raining yesterday, but it's very humid already. So hopefully the humidity. I don't mind the heat, but the humidity, man, gets out of hand. So I dropped the link. I don't know if it's still there. Let me drop it again. If you guys want to chit chat, so I have someone to talk to. So just talking to the black hole. Hold on, make sure I don't press wrong buttons. Hey, Cece, hold on. Let me drop this. Where's the chat? Make sure I be careful on this phone because if I press the wrong button, I kick myself out again. So paste it. Okay, I think I did it right. And let's find out what's going on in your garden. But I was watching the last couple of days. I was watching all the saucy news on celebrity news. So I saw that there's a video with the diddler, um, the diddler several years ago at a hotel assaulting his then girlfriend. Um, I have to laugh, not like ha ha ha, but he was so adamant. I didn't do any of those things. She's lying, this, that, and the third. And then now he's like, oh, I want to apologize and take accountability. And you damn liar. That apology is bullcrap. That apology is bullcrap. He's sorry he got caught, that there's footage out there because the same way how you were adamant and 10 toes down that she's lying, I don't see that same effort in your apology. Who did he apologize to? The atmosphere? Because he didn't even say it to her, and he's not asking for forgiveness. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. The thing about I don't know what you guys are doing. Shut up over there. Uh, they're clinically insane sometimes. These chickens. He represents a lot of men, and she represents a lot of women in this world. Hold on, I think there's a guest coming up. Okay, hold on. I'm bringing up. Hold on. Give me a second to figure it. Okay, authenticated. Add to stage.
Hey, good
Hey,
morning.
Cece. Good morning. I think he's a jerk, though. I don't believe his apology.
No, I don't either.
I think he is a. He's just a. People saw what was going on for years. These are rumors that have been going on for years
Mm-hmm.
between Kim, Cassie. I think they even said that Misa, his other baby mama, hey, Glamour Planner, also did it like I didn't watch the video. I just watched the snippet that they played on the different, bloggers and news broadcaster. The man ran out in just a towel to stop her from leaving
Mm-hmm.
and kicked her like you would kick, I don't know.
I hadn't seen the
You
video.
wouldn't kick a dog like that. You wouldn't kick your pet like you wouldn't kick anything like that from Hey Salandi. Oh, I said hi to you already. But I don't know, this made me oh hey Andre, that's who's stuck in there. Sounds like yeah, he's a narcissist. He's
Uh,
He has been calling everybody a liar for months. The security guard that used to work for him, everyone's a liar. It's everybody else. It's not me. And then the video comes out.
right.
I take account. You're just mad that your reputation is now formally ruined because now we have proof. But I already knew, like, where there's smoke, that much smoke, there must be some fire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Guys like that need their bank account taken away from them. Be that way with no money.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a narcissist, that's for sure. Don't let people's apologies fool you. That's all I gotta say.
Right. So, what are you transplanting today?
I have eggplants. Hold on. Let me show. I only brought out a few, but I have more inside. I have a problem with starting too many plants.
Oh, shoot. I had that same problem.
I have a medical condition called called uh, dropping seed syndrome.
Yes.
So I have six Clemson okras, and they're pretty big, and they got all those little droplets, so they're good. Six of
Mm-hmm.
those. I have two fennel behind there. I
Uh-huh.
have these only three marigolds came up in here. There were six, but only three popped up, but they look pretty good. So
Mm-hmm.
that's for pest control. I have 20 pop ups
Look what
volunteers. These are
Glamour
volunteers that just came up in the bed.
Glamour Planner has the
Too many plantitis? Yeah, I have
yes.
too many plantitis.
That's so
I
cute.
have let me show you guys over here. I have I have two fennel. These are looking kind of limp, but they'll and I have
Yeah.
another one inside.
Uh-huh.
And I have these are the herb gardens I want to transplant, but I got these to transplant, and these
Mm.
are two in each pot. Then I got all these celery, which is like is it in the camera?
Nice. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of celery in this one little pot.
Uh-huh.
So this is the first time I got my celery looking so good. I got all of these. I got all of these. I
This
gotta
is
put
the
some
first
herbs
time
in here.
I was able to get celery. I've always tried to plant celery. It never did anything. And this year, I just threw the seeds in the ground, and now I have celery growing.
That's exactly what I did. I just threw them all in one container
Mm-hmm.
and fed the soil, and they are doing much better. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dropping seed syndrome. Oh well. And then you go to the store. Oh, let me try that plant. Let me try these
Yes.
seeds. Do I need any more cabbages? Do I need 50 million types of cabbages?
Uh-huh.
But I bought two more, and I planted them over there too. Some Michelitis or something. Some new
Oh,
cabbage. It's like a long one. It looks like a romaine lettuce, but it's not. I bought.
okay.
Yeah, I got a medical condition, so I have to take treatment
I
every
think a
day.
lot of us have that same one.
But I like having the options. It's like either way, if I don't eat it, the chickens are gonna eat it. I'll give it away, but I want to see how it grows, so then I
Mm-hmm.
know if I like it or not. Because a lot of the food in the stores, you don't like it, not because you don't like it, but they pick it so early or whatever the reason is. But when you actually try it, you're like, oh, I do like it.
Right.
I
And
did
that's
like
what I
it.
do. I usually plant stuff that, people are like, you said you don't like this, but I try to at least taste it, to see how it is coming from the garden instead of, like you said, in the stores.
Yeah, and those prices be like, I'm looking at the prices. Somebody sent me a link because they have a company here that's like selling. like what do you call? I guess I wouldn't say blemished produce, but they're not like pretty, like the ones that
Mhm.
the store doesn't sell because it's like not perfect,
Right, right.
imperfect. They have
Hmm.
a company taking all those crops and all those stuff and selling it
Yeah.
by the bundles. But when I saw
Imperfect
the
foods, I think it's called.
yeah, but the
Uh-huh.
price to me is still not that like to me it's not that great.
Oh,
To
okay.
other people, they're like, no, that's a good price for a big basket of just mix and match fruits and vegetables. But I'm like $46 a week.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't I don't know. To me, it's like you know, it's still expensive. I think it should be cheaper than that. So I'm like, nah, I'll just grow my own still. I don't think you're gonna get good quality fruit. Like you're getting blemished stuff, fine. But it's still from the same source, like commercially grown stuff.
Right,
So the
right.
nutrient level's not gonna be and I don't $46 a week to eat, that's just for produce. That's not anything else.
Mm,
I don't think that's a good price.
no.
Yeah, you still gotta buy milk. You still gotta buy like if you have packaged food, kids snacks for the kids, lunch stuff. Didn't like what else are you gonna buy? $46 is a lot just for produce
Right.
for me, anyways. For a family, like I think that's expensive, but that's how bad it's gotten over here. I can't grow dill. Dill's pretty easy to grow.
Mhm.
What are you doing, Salon? I throw mine all in a pot, the seeds, and
Yeah,
let them germinate on their own
yeah.
outside. I don't do the I think I'm done with seed pods. Once my supply is done, I'm not buying any more seed pods.
Hmm.
They didn't really help me germinate stuff. They kind of did, but they get dry too quickly. I have a whole bunch in my seed tray that didn't germinate. I tried 3 and 4 times. Nothing popped up.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
what is that damn sound? I think someone's trying to one of those bees trying to dig into the metal. These bees are so dumb. I'm telling you, carpenter bees get on my nerves. But yeah, dill's pretty well for me. It's been pretty straightforward. I haven't had any problem with dill.
No.
So
Just make
maybe
sure that the ground is moist, you know.
yeah,
It's dried out and
and broadcast the seeds. I think you'll be okay. I know you're in Texas, so maybe you're trying salon when it's maybe it's too warm. I try when it's more cool with the spinach. I
yeah.
haven't had an issue.
Yeah, the dill likes it to be cooler.
Yeah. So and I have one that I tried in the milk carton. Not one seed popped up for the flowers, the Cleome or whatever. I've been
Hmm.
trying that flower for years. Nothing. I tried it in the milk jug. I tried it regular inside. Nothing's germinating.
Hmm.
I'm done with that flower now. I'm done. I literally threw the whole pack of seeds and
Yeah.
nothing. Not one came up.
See, it's like me. I'm still struggling with spinach. I'm just like, man, I can grow like Swiss chard and all those other things that's like spinach, but I cannot get my spinach to get over an inch tall. It's just like I don't know. I,
Neither have I. My spinach stays small, and if you leave it too long, then the leaf miner. So I have to
yeah,
pick them early. But I have never gotten big spinach, and I grow giant noble spinach, and it
yeah.
still ain't big.
Mm-mm.
It still
That's
ain't
what I
big.
did. I got the biggest ones, and then I'm saying it's still small. But I can do bok choy and
Hmm.
the so all of those big beautiful leaves, and I cannot grow any spinach.
I think people are lying about spinach because I don't think I think they're putting something in there, not telling us to get them to get
Right.
bigger. Because if I'm growing giant noble, why is my
Mhm.
spinach the size of like the New Zealand? It doesn't make
Mhm.
something doesn't make sense. They're lying about something. Because I've tried it. I've even tried it growing it like in February here where it's still snowing, still
Uh-huh.
cold, and they've germinated. So if
Mhm.
I started them in February and it's now May and they're still time like something's not
Yeah.
you're lying to me about something.
Same.
They're not telling us the truth. They're doing something to make them to boost their growth.
Mhm.
So I'm trying the American spinach this year for the first time.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be slow bolting. So the squirrel dug up that pot though, so we'll see what happens.
Oh no.
Pissed me off. It was finally starting to germinate, and then it's all mixed up. So now I don't even know how deep the seeds are. So
Right. Or if they even in there.
so it made me sick. I'm telling you. I I was giving them the eye yesterday, like I was looking at him, he's looking at me. I'm like, yeah, you come over here. It's on. Like it's
Mhm.
on. Just walk over the fence line. I dare you. So he didn't come because he knows if you come when I'm here, that's it.
Well, yesterday I discovered my friend had told me that she had had the leaf-footed bugs that showed up,
Mm-hmm.
and yesterday they was all over my blackberries. I'm like, no, y'all are here. Uh, yeah, those are a pain.
This year, I predicted it though. I predicted that we're gonna have a lot more bug pressure with all
Yeah,
the foolishness that was going on and the mild winter that we had, and
yeah.
then last year was the smoke, the fires, and all the different things that are going on. I'm like, we're gonna have bug pressure this year because
Mhm.
I saw a squash bug before I even was bringing my plants outside. It was already here
Mhm.
looking. I'm like, oh, you're already like you're already
Right.
yeah,
Scouting out.
scouting out. Okay, where's the stuff? Where's the crop? What's going on? She's late. She's late. I'm like this. Yeah, they were already here.
So
The
did
what do you call it? White spider, whatever spider mites were already here.
yes, I just had to
White
get rid of
flies.
some green beans because of the spider mites. Yeah, but the good
Hey,
thing is I had planted some
fresh
more.
and fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned Malabar spinach.
Mhm.
Malabar spinach, I liked it, but it's very thick like a succulent, so it's not that same
Yeah, I
spinachy
heard about
feel.
that. I heard.
So I don't mind it, but it's not spinachy to me. It's very different spinach. So, but I liked it. It grew easily. It took the heat. I didn't have any problems with it. But yeah, hold on.
Now, do you have tomato hornworm issues?
No, I don't think my season is long enough for that. But
Okay.
then again, Gina has them in Ohio, which is not too far from me. But maybe because she's 6B, I'm 6A. I haven't seen them. I've never seen the hornworm. Now
Wow.
they haven't probably haven't found me yet. That's probably what happened. But um, we'll see. We shall see. But the monarch butterfly definitely has found me, and this black swallowtail has found me. So
Okay.
last year they were here laying their I don't know what they're doing, making a cocoon and a chrysalis, and I watched them emerge, which was great, but not this year. Sorry, honey, you're not coming over here this year. So I'll make a guard up top for them. They can go over there, but they're not coming down here.
Right.
They're not coming down here. Hey, we're escaping a pitfall too. I saw your date. Hold on. No, no, I'm here, but I'm alive. 1 second, guys. The camera's facing here, so I don't have to go. Yeah. I don't care if it's on camera. No, you're on camera. So.
Oh.
Say hi to people. You're facing the wrong way. Oh, you won't get the chickens. Don't scare them. They have high blood pressure. Don't scare them. They have hypertension too. Look at them. They're like, oh my god, what is that thing looking at? Yeah, his name is
Cute.
Spice Dog. For those who know who Tribe Called Quest, Spice Dog. Spice Dog. Theodore, Mr. Spice yeah, Dog. Theodore. Ruxpin. Ruxpin.
Oh my goodness.
Theodore Ruxpin. I'm like, okay, every childhood toy that we had.
Right. They're talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a puppy. What kind of dog is he? Toy poodle. Toy poodle. He's almost a year. He'll be a year. Yeah, he's about a year. Yeah, he was tiny when he came. He could fit in my hand. He was 2 pounds. Watch, there's a lady who had two pit bulls, or not pit bulls. They weren't corsos, but they were big dogs, yeah. And they were unleashed, and she didn't even know where they were. I said, "Are you looking for your dog?" I went to get lunch a couple days ago, so I went out and I said, "Are you looking for your dogs?" Because I see a lady walking with leashes but no dogs, and then dogs running around with no leashes, and near the kids going towards the school on recess. Really? And I'm
Mm.
like, "How do you not know where your two big old dogs?" They were like, they're not corsos, but they were like big dogs. Ooh, buddy. Wait. Big dogs. Okay. Let's. Diana's working. Bye. It's not about you today. Let's go. See you later. So yeah, watch them. Sometimes this it's a lady too. She doesn't know what she's doing with those dogs. You saw your fence open? So he's like, she's there. She's there. We were like on the sidewalk and I saw bye, Five. And he just ran through. So bye, Fozzie. Let's come in. Even if you weren't here, I was gonna let's stop in. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Oh, okay. No problem. Yeah, he's so cute. He's a cutie patootie. I saw my first hornworm. It scared the crap out of me.
Oh yes, those
I
things are
saw
so
who did I
gross.
see? Somebody had a glow in the dark light. A few of you, I think it was Gina too. Some of you guys had a
Yeah.
light, and you go out at night to go find them.
Yes. The
Ugh,
black light.
ugh.
Oh, and ugh, they're
I would
gross.
have to wear gloves because they look thick and disgusting.
Yes, they are. And then when you try to pull them off, like even with like whatever you try to pull, they're like spongy. They're like, you know, like one of them stretch Armstrong kind of thing. Just like, oh, just let go of the branch.
Oh my god, they're gross. I know I saw a few of you guys who had that problem. Like several of you guys who are in the
Yes.
south. I see you
Hmm.
have the hornworm, and it's like they're so disgusting to look at. And I see them just take the branch and throw it to the chicken, like throw the whole thing to the
Yes,
chicken.
because they don't want to let that branch go. It's like their
No.
little legs clamp on.
Mm. And then the front is actually the bum, and the bum like it looks opposite.
Well, the horn's supposed to be on the back part of it. So,
Yeah. I'm
and
like, is that the face? No, that's the bum. I'm like, oops.
right? And the thing is, I mean, you pretty much can't see them unless you see that little spiky horn. That's the only way because they blend into the plant that they're on. You
Hmm.
cannot see them.
We
Yeah.
don't get cicadas. We get beetles, crickets, and they're annoying. You know what's annoying when you hear the chirping but you can't find where it is and they get into your house? Oh my god.
Oh gosh,
And as
yes.
soon as you get close enough, they stop.
And then I get quiet.
And then you move back, and then I'm like, you little rascal. We get black flies. There's other things that we get probably more in like the very remote areas. But
Mhm.
where I am, I've never seen a cicada. I've never heard them here. Um, I've seen certain beetles and stuff, but yeah, maybe because we're more developed in the city part, so we don't see those bugs. When you go to those provincial parks, you'll see all kind of stuff over there.
Mhm. I heard the
Um,
cicada's supposed to be really bad this year.
I've heard somebody play a video and they were already all over the place, and that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
They were already taking over, and it was the whole infestation. I'm like, oh lord,
Mhm. Mhm.
oh lord. But I think every 7 years something kind of always, they rotate. So I
Yeah.
think this year is going to be like crickets, beetles, caterpillar. Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, with the eclipse and everything happening, it always seems to throw off.
Mm-hmm. It
Mhm.
throws off stuff. People don't believe it, but it does.
It
It it
does.
it, it changes something, and then all the stuff they've been spraying in the air for the last year.
Yeah.
Um, because last year I didn't have that much bug pressure, but I didn't have that much sun because it was so overcast from the smoke that I
Mhm.
didn't get enough heat for my hot peppers. So I didn't really get the best crop, but I had enough to harvest seeds. So and I froze the rest, but I didn't get a bumper crop like I was expecting. So
Right.
this year we're gonna get bug pressure. I can guarantee it.
Now, are you
Yeah.
doing like garlic and onions, or
I
no?
have some onions around here and some leeks. Garlic, no. I have my garlic from last year that I harvested still sitting out here all winter long. All winter. I've never even brought them in the house. They're the size of cherry tomatoes. So that's why I'm like, what the hell is this crap? I was so upset. So
Uh
they've been sitting there still. So I might just replant them, but it's
huh.
um I didn't find that it really worked. And again, the squirrels dug them up.
Yeah.
And so this year I'll have to make more mesh coverings before I even waste my time. Because they dug up all the garlic, they dug up some of the onions. The leeks were okay, but yeah, they're really just like I hate them with a passion. I hate squirrels. Like I think I hate them more than mosquitoes, and I hate mosquitoes.
Oh gosh.
I hate them. All that work you put into hours and hours of work, and in 2 seconds you turn your head and they turn it upside down,
Mm-mm.
upside down. So, and then they want to move into my veranda and make a nest. Are you serious? You think you're going to live here?
Right.
No. And the birds have been watching my blueberry bushes and stuff. So, but I have to transplant. I have a blueberry bush here and a raspberry bush here, and I got fruit from it, but I have to just find a spot for it. I'm harvesting garlic and onions soon. I planted late. Yeah, I have to. Onion is great though. I did not know it could stay in the ground all winter here, but they
Hmm.
did. My dad's house, they didn't take any of them out, and they're huge.
Yeah.
They are huge, and they drop their own seeds. So I thought it was grass I was pulling out. No, it was baby onions. So I threw them out by accident, but there's more. So we're gonna dig them up and then split them all around. So we have our own onion starts this year. Oddly enough, they my chives. I have scallions. My scallions are not as big as they used to be, so I gotta add some more seeds to that. But my scallion seeds did not germinate in the house. I
Hmm.
dropped a lot of seeds,
Yeah.
and I got like two that came up.
Yeah.
So I don't think they like the indoor environment to germinate.
I didn't have success with trying to do my onions in my hydroponic. It did not work. I, mm-mm.
Hydroponic, yeah, I don't. I have two radishes in there right now in the hydroponics. One is bulbing, one is not.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm trying to figure out because I'm trying to grow more indoors over here in the wintertime, but some things are just not. You have to find the right technique because
Right.
bulbing vegetables and like even onions and stuff, they don't really like just the water. I think they do like the soil better.
Right.
But I brought soil in the house for for the indoor grow. I didn't put hot water on it, and I saw last night when I'm trying to transplant the one of the herbs. I saw like a clear looking thing wiggling around on top. So that
Oh.
must be one of the gnat larvae or something. I'm like, this
Oh
is
my
ridiculous.
goodness.
Like it was so disgusting to me. I was like I felt like I was gonna like you see those people looking at the microscope and you see all those like those
Mhm,
cells. I
mhm.
those that makes me feel disgusting inside. I don't know why. I feel like popping them. It gives me that feeling. So it was the same feeling I saw when I saw this clear sea. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god! When they drop on the ground, it sounds like somebody fell. Yeah, hornworms are.
Wow.
I've seen them. They're disgusting.
They are, and they get so huge. They can get big, and they will, take a plant down quick.
Oh my god! And I tried to propagate a tomato. It was doing so well. It had a root. I forgot to water it over the
Oh.
last 2 days. It was hot, and the
Uh-huh.
water evaporated. So yeah,
Oh.
I lost that one. So I just threw it. I was so upset. That was my own fault. I got distracted. I forgot,
Mm.
and there it dried up. Like you made me die. Sorry. Sorry. My apologies.
Yeah,
But
I know Wind Down Wednesday's gonna start their confessions back up.
I'm telling you,
We're gonna have a lot of plant confessions.
I have a few, but you live and you learn. Sometimes you do things just to experiment to see, like, is it gonna work or is it not gonna work? Because
Right.
not everything that you can take from people you have to listen to verbatim. Like, it didn't work for you, but
Mhm.
maybe if I keep pushing the envelope, it might work for me.
Mhm.
So I tried a few things, but the root came, but I just was juggling too many plants, and that's what I learned for next year. Like, there's a certain listen here, girl, stop the foolishness. There's a certain point that you have to like take them outside. The one,
Yeah.
especially like my brassicas, I was trying to get them outside early, which I did, and they could handle it. But I should have got all of them out because that would give me more time and room to focus on the okra tomatoes and those other ones. But I'm juggling all these things, and they're all outgrowing the container. It was just like too
Mhm.
much. It was too much. I'm
Yeah.
like, and that's what messes me up. Not the seed, not the plant. It's you have too many plants. They're outgrowing the space. They're
Yes.
getting dehydrated too quickly, and you're not watering them fast enough. They're like, listen, lady, like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, you brought me here. Like, what are you doing? So a
Yeah.
few plants were like I'm watering them, but they weren't getting the water because I don't know why. The tray wasn't level or whatever the cause was.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm like, that's what messes me up. That part, maintaining them when they're overgrown.
Right.
So we done with that this year. Next year I'm gonna cut. I said this every year. I'm gonna cut back. I have that medical condition.
Right.
I'm gonna cut back, but I'm gonna cut back on the plants I'm growing for other people to give away. I'm gonna collect my seeds. I'm gonna give them the seeds in the fall, and you're on your own. Good
Right.
morning, planter. You're on your own.
Hey, planner.
I'm not. I'm not doing that again because they're gonna keep expecting it. That's part of the problem. They expect it. Let me drop the link again in case somebody they expect it. And then I brought the plants to go and give away. People who don't even have a garden. Where's mine? So I said to them, "Have you even planted a weed? Like, don't come to me with that foolishness about I'm not the one. I'll tell you." Like, I was like, "Really?
Like,
You've never planted even a weed. You've never even planted dandelion. You're coming to me about where's mine."
right? We're like, let me see proof of your garden.
That's what I'm about. If I don't see any proof, you ain't getting nothing from me.
Right.
Well, that's not very nice. I don't care. Some of these peppers took me 3 months. I had to start them in the end of January to get them to the size they are now. And I want to give them to somebody who can't even handle lettuce? No, sorry, no, ma'am, no, mm-mm, mm-mm. So I give them to people who know how to plant and know how to harvest the seeds. I told them I want to swap back the seeds with them so that we can get the
Yeah.
best strain.
Right.
And yeah, so I was like, listen, like people, don't can I have it? Where's mine? I don't know. Get walking. I don't know.
Mm-mm-mm.
I find it funny. People want things, but they don't really want them.
So, what are you looking for forward to, like your main thing that you want to see grow this year?
Well, hopefully watermelon, but that's just in the back. I'm not in the watermelon wars. It's my own personal war because I
Mm.
don't know over the north we're not gonna get no big watermelon. But I want to see my watermelons. I want
Uh-huh.
to see my kombucha squash and my kusha. I have kusha
Okay.
for the first time,
Yeah, I'm
and
growing
I want to see and the new okra, the whatever it's called. I got one from M. My Gardener. What's it called? Red Country or Red County something.
Okay.
Some kind of. I want to see how those turn out. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
Cool.
That.
Yeah, I'm growing Kusha for the first time too.
When did you plant yours? Early or are you planting yours now?
Yeah, I planted mine. Let's see. I want to say February, March, something like that.
Okay, I know you have a earlier last frost date.
Well, I was trying to beat the squash vine borer.
Oh, that too. You see, and that's what I'm concerned about. I didn't have any problems last year, but they already know their squash going to be here, so they're kind of lingering. They're already
Huh?
yeah. So my zucchini germinated, my butternut squash. The kusha did not germinate, and I'm surprised because I snipped those seeds. I cut the corners
Oh,
off to make
yeah.
them germinate fat, and I have not seen any kusha. I have not seen another plant that I planted. The table queen did not germinate yet.
Huh.
So maybe I should try a couple of more seeds to make sure.
Mhm.
And then I haven't done the kabocha yet, but if I
Mhm.
think I do them now, I might still get a harvest by the fall. So I might just plant two just in case.
So, how many growing days do you have?
I
Like
would
how?
say about 150 ish, give or take. Because
Okay.
May, June, July, August, 30, 60, 90, 120. Yeah, about 150 ish, maybe 200 days.
Okay.
Because in the spring, sorry, the train's coming. In the spring, I can direct sow the spinach, the lettuce, and start getting a harvest in the early, like while it's still frosting. Because
Okay.
I've learned how to push the envelope, and in the fall, same thing, and Swiss chard. I can
Mhm.
plant those real early, so
Okay.
I can get food for even more than the 150 days. But you have to be committed to go out there and drop the seeds in the hole. But
Right.
and I got a pop up greenhouse that I'm gonna put over that like salad bar area near my main entrance.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put it up maybe in September, October to stretch out the season longer
Okay.
and do some late seeding there and see how long I can get lettuce and spinach for.
Yeah.
And bok choy, because I think bok choy can do a second round
Mhm.
in the fall.
Yeah.
So and I'm trying two new types of bok choy. Um, the Mei Ling one. I'm trying another one from Baker Creek. I have the Sushao one as well, and I have another one. They're all similar, but some of them are
Mhm.
nice and tiny and cute. Some of them are longer.
Right. Now, have you planted soy before?
I have not. I'm looking for the seeds. I was trying to see if they have them at a company I was already ordering from, but
Mhm.
I didn't see them yet. But I know Miss Renaissance does tat soy and another one.
Yeah. They taste really good.
Cat soy and something else. She had two that she
Pak
recommended.
pak choy? Is it pak choy?
Maybe there's I know the tat soy.
Uh-huh.
There's another one, and I know she mentioned King of Bitters and another bitter she mentioned. She bought like the whole supply. They sold out.
Oh,
She
wow.
bought like 5 pack. I'm like Renaissance. Like what's what the rest of us is laughing. She bought the whole. They're sold out or whatever she recommended. So I put it on a wish list.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I planted this year for the first time, which is the same thing. The pink Swiss chard, which is
Oh,
basically it's the same as any other Swiss chard, but it looks prettier. And I did sprouting broccoli.
okay.
My tattoo did it feel like continuing to live. Um, so
Yeah.
sprouting broccoli has to overwinter. So I have to put them in the garage. So we'll see how that goes. But
Mhm.
if it's not worth my time, I may not continue growing some of these things, but I'll finish off the pack of seeds. But
Yeah.
I need more infrastructure if I'm going to be here in this cold zone because I need to. Some things need more growing days, and I can really provide them. Hey, Tigsy.
Hey, Tixie.
Um, yeah, and I
Yeah.
think yeah, and Andrea sent me marshmallow. I haven't planted that yet. I
Oh,
had
yeah.
no room. I had no room.
Yeah, I got that growing. I need to figure out how to actually, because I think you're supposed to use like the root part of the
Oh, for the
plant.
marshmallow.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to germinate that? Was it a quick or a long germination?
It didn't take long to I just put it in the pot, So
Hmm.
it didn't take long for it to start growing.
I had no room. This is exactly why I didn't grow everything, like all the herbs. That is because I
Mhm.
already couldn't manage what I had. I had no room.
I planted, well, my issue that I had the storm happen and knocked
I know
all
how did
my
that
herbs.
go? And the flooding. You had the flooding too.
Yes. And so, I mean, I pretty much know I didn't get it because I only have 5 that are thriving, and I have a little small one that's in my hydroponics that is the wood botany that's taking forever to grow. So I know you know, but if we was doing the 5, I would be good with the
I
5.
know. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta try the marshmallow. I gotta try the king of bitters. I want to harvest seeds from that
Uh-huh.
because I don't have a pack of seeds. And then the pink ponderosa tomato. It's the first time I'm growing that. My seedlings of that particular tomato don't look very good, and
Mm.
I think it's the size of the container that I put them in was a slightly smaller than the other ones, and the water wasn't holding in the soil because
Uh-huh.
they look really like. Mm-mm. So they're going outside today, and hopefully the outdoor environment will get them perking up again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my yellow thyme looks and smells fantastic. So I'm going to cut that down and dry them this week in the dehydrator and have them for like a seasoning or for a tea.
I have orange thyme, but they're small. They're still small.
You mean the actual leaves?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, mine are small too, but I don't mind when they're small.
But
I
I
think
mean, like the plant itself is like it didn't really it's like only 2 inches
let
long. I'm
me
like, I don't know. I
hold
might
on,
need
let
to
me
chop
show
some.
you mine. Where's whoops? It's the wrong button. Hold on, let me show you. I'll give you guys a little okay. Now it has me in full screen. No, 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 I don't want that. Is this the right view? Yeah, okay. I'll show you guys. Okay. So this is the yellow thyme here. It was a tiny plant too, but it seems to like it's filled the whole
Oh,
depth. The
okay.
leaves are very tiny, but it's
Yeah.
very nice. Like mm, it
Okay.
literally smells like actual lemon. Like it's not even it literally smells like lemon.
Mm.
So this I never heard of orange thyme. I gotta try to find that one. Orange thyme.
Yeah.
Some
I
leaves
got
there.
orange. But I didn't though. I think I didn't put enough seeds out. I think I only put a few. That's why it's only got 2 little
And then
ridges.
these are my red mustards for the first time I'm growing red mustards.
Oh yes, those are
Oh,
good and
I got
peppery. They have
some
a
wheat.
peppery taste to them.
I like spicy greens. So if I like arugula, so I like
Oh well, you
and I'm
definitely.
not getting any damage. So this is for the first time. Maybe they haven't found them yet, because usually and there's more over here, red mustards.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking pretty full. The Swiss chard you see again, yeah. Like I took off all the leaves yesterday, but still see leaf miner.
Yeah.
leaf miner. So I think these white dots must be the egg. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, these white flexes are.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to spray them. Yep. See, same thing. I cut off all the leaves yesterday, and it's nothing but leaf miner damage. And I've
Right.
never had a problem with Swiss chard. These are the regular mustards. These are huge. I already harvested them already, and this leaf is humongous. Yeah, I have very little damage on the mustard greens, and
Uh-huh.
that's never happened to me before.
Hmm.
And then I have, oh, here's the regular thyme that's flowering. So I'm gonna chop this all down this year. Oh, this pot, this is kind of holding up, but it fell over. I'm chopping all of this down this year, and gonna put it in a seasoning mix. Yeah, all this is thyme, and I had scallions here, but it kind of, I think the thyme took it over, so I'm gonna have to get another bed, and then the chives are here. This
Tick.
looks like carrot. I don't know what this is. This is some kind of herb that's kind of, I don't know what this is, but it's something.
Huh.
I'm gonna have to look it up. It's the same leaf as carrots, and
Yeah.
but it's not.
No.
It's kind of
Tixie
furry.
said she had the same
I hope it's not
issue
poisonous. I hope it's not poisonous.
with her orange
I just
thyme.
put my hand all over it.
Right. Tixie says she had the same issue with her orange thyme. She only got 3 small sprigs. So maybe it's that tight that is making us have little
maybe,
small ones.
maybe, but if you, my time is spread. Do you guys have it in ground? Because maybe it's the soil mix. It's because depending on where I planted it,
Uh-huh.
it didn't do very well. But that's,
I
yeah,
have mine
that's
in
the
the
point.
pot.
No, it could be wild parsley. I'm not sure. Something is attacking my potato leaves. Mine too, 10. I didn't plant any potatoes. Same thing with my orange glow. I've never heard of orange thyme. What does it smell like? Orange? Does it have an orange smell to it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I gotta try that. Because the lemon thyme, I'm telling you, I was like, who needs lemon tree? I can just use that for citrus flavor. I
10
don't.
is your potato leaves having like holes in them, or they stripping the leaves? Because what was happening with my potato was the tomato hornworms, they eat potato leaves as well. And so they were stripping my leaves off my potatoes.
Hmm. And if you don't get leaves, you're not gonna get potatoes, right?
Right.
You're not gonna get potatoes. That's. I didn't grow potatoes, but I do have a bag in my house that's full of eyes, so I might just drop them in a bag.
Hmm.
But I didn't. Oh, I stepped on a worm. Oops. Let me get it to the chicken. Yuck. Yeah, yucky, yucky. Let me give it to them. They can have this rotten flesh. She's fast on it. She don't,
Uh-huh.
before it drops, she's on that. But yeah, I don't really bother with potatoes because of the space that I need to have them in. Because I don't think they grow well in small space. Like I did a grow bag for them
Mhm.
before,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't. I think it needs like a good size bed, like a deep space of broad space, so they can spread. And I don't have that. Well, I do, but I don't want to waste that space for the potatoes, so
Right.
I didn't grow it. To potatoes, same thing. Like you need to give it the space that it needs
Hmm.
for it to really get the tubers going. I see these small black flies, sorry, black bugs. They're very tiny, very hard to see. Yes, holes and stripping the leaves. This morning I could see white dots on some of them. Well, white dots are probably eggs.
Hmm. Hmm.
Eggs of what? I don't know.
Right. And TT is right. If they are little tiny holes, then those flea beetles.
Flea beetles.
Hmm.
So what do you guys use for that? BT or just vinegar or
I usually don't wind up doing nothing for
oh you just let it
because
be. Whatever you get, you get.
yeah, I try to just get them before they get them. Yeah, because I mean, for years, like when I was doing gardening, you know, I wasn't organic growing because Seven Dust was like my best friend. But that's something you grow up in the South, and that's what's used. And
Right, right.
so until I started getting in the garden community, I was like, oh, so that's not the good best thing to do. So I have been learning to get more, plant more flowers, bring in more of those parasitic wasps and
Yeah,
bees,
yeah, yeah.
things like that, to plant around my plants. So then the wasps in the morning, I have to let them do their job because they're looking for the worms, the caterpillars. So I'm like, okay, y'all go ahead before I
And the
can.
birds, because my the robins have already nested, so they're looking for bugs to feed
Oh
their
yeah.
wife and the youngins. So I leave them alone. They're hunting it all on the lawn for bugs and stuff. So
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
I leave them alone, they'll kind of leave me alone until the berries come in. Then they're my problem. Then they're leave
Yes.
my berries alone. But exactly, you have to. Some things you just gotta let them go because if you plant enough, they're not gonna destroy all of them. Which is exactly
Right.
why potatoes you need a lot of space because they're not gonna kill all your potatoes. But if you only have a few to begin with,
Right.
it's like the ratio is not enough to justify me doing. I'm like, yeah, forget it.
Mhm.
And plus, the farmers over here, because my cousin got a hook up with a farmer, so when they pick the potatoes with a machine, all
Uh-huh.
the regular size smaller ones don't get picked up. So
Right.
if you go to the field yourself, you can bag up whatever you want for free.
Nice. Nice.
So it became like what's worth my time.
Right.
So let me just go to the farm, pick up, in a sack, all the remnants, and those are plenty for a whole season in the garage to store up in a cool, dry place. I'm good.
Yeah, that's neat that you be, able to do that. I would do that if I didn't have to grow any potatoes. Well, I like it because it's fun to do it. But
Mhm.
if I could
You
go
have
out
more room
there,
than I do. You have a big yard. You haven't even used a quarter of it yet.
yeah, no.
You got
Mm-mm.
a huge yard.
Yeah,
But the
but
only thing is that you get the flooding though. You get that flooding sometimes.
I
Yeah.
do. I do. And I think next year I'm gonna start trying to get more raised beds, slowly get more raised beds for my garden.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, Tizzie's saying you can use strong scented flowers and
Mhm.
plants to try to deter the flea beetles if you don't want to use pesticides.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess that means marigolds and
Mhm.
onions, garlic, leeks. What else? What else smells strong?
Calendula.
Oh yeah, calendula.
Yeah.
Is it? I see people saying
Cal-
calendula.
I know. I'm like calendula.
No, but
Is it the
somebody
same thing?
corrected somebody. Somebody said calendula because it's a D or
Yeah.
calendula. So they said no, it's calendula. I said there's no
Yeah.
J in the calendula name. Like just because you say calenja doesn't mean it's actually ja. I'm like,
Right.
how are you correcting somebody's speech when you saying it wrong?
Right.
I was like, listen, ma'am, ja. There's no J, lady. There's a D.
Right.
But yeah, calendula. What else smells pungent?
Um,
Flower. I don't know if zinnias would help, but what else do I plant that they don't like? Oh, they don't like yeah, the dill
right.
usually and the basil or
Yeah.
basil, however you want to say it, and
Yes.
then the
Yes.
what else do I plant they don't like?
Lemongrass.
Oh yeah, lemongrass, lemon balm,
Yes.
and they don't like some another herb. Can't recall now, but yeah, some of those fragrant herbs they don't like the smell of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I would just so basically it's basically back to intercropping.
Right.
You have to heavily intercrop. Even though Captain Jack is natural, I wait until the end of the day to spray. I don't want to harm the bees. We
Right.
need our pollinators. We need our pollinators.
Mhm.
But this guy wrote a comment on my video. Rude man. That has to be a man. I'm assuming he's a man. I think the name was a man. I had a video of an unboxing I did like, I don't know, maybe over a year ago. So the
Mhm.
man's like, this was a colossal, this was a waste of my time. You didn't even show us anything. So I said, the title clearly says unboxing. So your expectation should have been more realistic. I'm opening the box. Hence the word unboxing. It was not a demonstration or setting up. It was unboxing.
Right.
Thank you for your time, whatever. And I kept it moving. Like you had time to type that? It was a waste of you just wasted my time.
Oh yeah.
Listen, yeah. Listen, sir. Listen, ma'am. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Nasturtiums is another one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nasturtiums are a good trap crop for
Mhm.
aphids.
Mhm.
They, I saw that for the first time last year, and the aphids were all over that plant. Yeah, marigold, nasturtiums. Yeah, chives. I have chives too. That's true. Rosemary, yes. Mine
Mhm.
is dead. I gotta buy a new one. It almost made it through the. It almost made got to February, but then I didn't water it for the last properly for the last month. But yeah, chives, rosemary. So you're gonna have to intercrop your and I think 10 has her stuff in grow bags. So if you just put another grow bag next to it
Right.
with these flowers,
Mhm.
um, you'll be fine.
I think you want to see an undressing.
Maybe these people are out of order, telling me typing it's a waste of my time. So I'm like, anyways. So they're like, oh no, be nice. I'm gonna be nice. What? Well, he's insulting me about it's a waste of my time. This was a waste. And you do a video then. Then you do a video.
Right.
The man had one, not even no video, no content, and like 4 subscribers.
Oh
If you didn't
goodness.
like the video, then just thumbs it down and keep it moving. But don't be writing me a comment like your comment is worth more than somebody else's. Like I have to please you. I have to please you. You didn't
Mm-mm.
like it, that's fine. Keep it moving.
I know. I don't know why people think that we need to hear or know that you didn't like something.
One guy said to me because he asked me, "Do I like the unit?" and so and so. So I said, "You know what? I will do a updated video on me using it and my feedback because that like but he wasn't rude about it. He didn't insult me.
Right.
He just said like, how do I like it? Is it working? Is it still working? Which
Uh-huh.
are good questions. Okay, no problem. I'll do a new video instead of me typing this long answer. I'll update you with a video. I
Right.
put basil in my pots. Yes, so do I. I basil in
Me
my
too.
pot. I think catnip might help. I don't know. I'm just guessing because I'm putting catnip for the first time out to attract more beneficial insects. And I know zinnias attracted some beneficial insects as well because last year I had some new ladybugs, and I had
Yes.
monarchs and other things in here that never came before. That was definitely the zinnia and the bee balm.
Yes.
The bee balm was very nice. But yeah, that's what you got to do if you don't want to use even organic stuff.
Mhm.
But the bugs are gonna eat. Like we have to just kind of
That's
come to
true.
terms with it. Like the bugs are still gonna eat as long as we get more than they do. We're good.
Yeah. I've been having a lot of tiny little grasshoppers and crickets all up in the bed. Like when I go to spray, water the
Mhm.
bed, they just jumping everywhere. I'm like, oh, but they're eating their little parts.
They're eating the parts. As long as they don't eat my leafy greens, we good. And I've seen
They're
some
eating
frogs
them
too. Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I think people have this misnomer that there's if you do all the right things, there'll be absolutely no bugs. That's impossible.
Right.
Listen here, Pepper. I'm gonna put you in seclusion if you don't stop it. He's bullying. Where's my
Uh-oh.
spray bottle? To go. Time for spray bottle season to spray them up when they get out of hand. I'm kind of talking to them. Just make sure I'm ready with my trigger finger. Oh God, it takes so long to. Let me just.
Hey,
Okay,
food forest.
there.
Good morning.
Hey, food forest. Yeah, people think that you're not gonna have any bugs, and I think maybe that's we as gardeners may be misleading people. Oh, if you do this, that, then no, you're gonna get your food eaten. That's the point. And if they don't want to eat it, then you don't want to eat it either.
She
They
got
eat
gangster.
the basil. Oh Lord.
I had, how you put basil in there with the tomatoes to keep like from pass away.
Yeah.
I had a hornworm standing on the basil eating my tomato. I was like, really? It was using the basil branch to reach over there and eat my tomato. I'm like, no.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Like I think we may be misleading new gardeners and like, okay, yeah, well, why do we have all these problems? Like that's part of gardening.
Yeah.
And if you don't have these problems, then maybe your a garden is not organic as you
Hmm.
think it is. So it's part of gardening. You're gonna see, like I told you, the bugs are already here from a month ago, looking at me like, "Where's the plants?
Right.
Where's the food at?" Like we here.
Right.
So you have to it is what it is.
And
You
then the
have to
thing is,
plant.
go
Sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go
No,
ahead.
if you have like grow bags that you just amend the soil each year, or you have raised beds, those insects plant their babies or whatever
Your
in the
eggs. Yep.
soil.
Hmm.
And so they're already there when you get ready to start up, their babies are already waiting
You're
to
already
eat.
waiting. Already waiting, like popping up, like like
Yeah.
Chucky. You can't get rid of these. Hold on here. You can also plant radishes in the pots as well if you feel comfortable. You can sprinkle a little DE on top of the soil. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Um, Healthy soil, you have healthy soil.
Probably plants.
Exactly. So it is what it is. You have to just plant extra. I
Yep.
think people think. I know. I thought if I want four plants, I plant four. No, if you want four plants, you better plant eight
Right.
because by the time you get rid of all the bugs and the birds, you're going to end up with four. But you better
Yes.
plant eight. So
Yes.
that's the thing about gardening. You have to plant for the birds, the bugs, the rabbits, the groundhog, the
Hmm.
raccoons, the possums, the squirrels, and the insects.
And don't
And if
forget your
you're
weather.
lucky, you'll get some for you and your family. And when you get your share, make sure that you preserve it properly because you don't have time to waste on things going rotten or.
I know.
So I'm already, putting my greens in the fridge. I'm going to be putting them in freezer bags to make smoothies. Some things I'm going to blanch and freeze. I'm making sure that this year everything is being preserved. Like my herbs, I was terrible at making sure I was on top of that. So the thyme is going to be
Mhm.
washed today and rinsed out, and I'm going to dry them out, and that's going to be put in a seasoning mix.
Yeah.
And no more wasting what I'm doing. And like, yeah,
I think
and
that
also,
happens a lot.
mhm,
We don't really talk about it because we do harvest videos, and then, it'll go in the house, and then be like, "Oh, I'll get to it," and before you know it, it's like, "Oh, it demolded, or it then got,
yeah, wilted, and then.
yes,
And then people be like, "Oh, there's a bug on it." Yeah, like they're supposed to be there. We tried to be proactive by using beneficial nematodes, but the bugs and critters have become relentless. Yeah,
mm,
I'm not surprised. I see a lot of people. What I don't like about the gardening community is that there's a lot of people who have like the old time practices, and then people with a high science background are like, basically saying that these are not going to work and they're like, that makes no sense and like kind of downplaying these things.
mm-hmm,
But I think some of the old ways, there's a reason why it works. We just haven't figured it out yet.
right,
Because I see people with this damn train. Oh my God, so long. A lot of people are talking about electroculture.
yeah, yeah.
And I've
I
been
seen
watching a
that a
lot of
couple years
people,
ago.
and I think it does have some benefits
Mhm.
because you're tapping into that electromagnetic field and it's repelling things. Not everything, but it definitely is helping. But there's not like that's all you have to do. You still got to intercrop and do other things, but definitely that can help with the bug pressure because with all the stuff that's been happening with the chemicals and the spraying and the we call it chemtrails
Yes,
and the X, Y's, and the Z's and the 5G towers and all the things that are happening, it's definitely causing a change. And
it
it's
is.
not just environmental. Some of the changes are in the soil. Um, some of the soil people are finding is not absorbing the water the same as it used to.
Yeah.
And you can't really prove it, but you just notice it because it's like something has changed. I water the soil and the soil's not absorbing and holding the moisture.
Well, even with all our floods we've been having, I'm still. You would think I wouldn't have to go water my garden, and I still do. After
So
all
you,
the
you
floods,
see?
it's like, where did the water go? It just, you know, my beds are still dry.
That's exactly the problem. It seems strange, and it's like, okay. And then somebody was like doing certain treatments, and then they're like, why would you do that? What about when it rains? Well, when it rains you have to reapply. That's the whole point. When
Yeah.
you're not using chemicals, it's only going to last until the next rainfall, or,
Mm,
or 20, 30 days.
yeah.
That's the point. You have to reapply. Well, this is not going to work. That's not. Then you watch what they're doing, and I was watching because one of the persons is somebody that Broke had mentioned in passing that he cannot stand this creator, and he
Mhm.
asked them, "Do you have a garden?" And it's like, yeah. When you see that person's garden,
Uh-huh.
it's literally on a balcony that's like 3 feet by
Oh.
4 feet,
Uh-huh.
and the rest of us are growing food.
Yeah.
Like you saw my little patch right there. So,
Uh-huh.
am I taking advice from somebody who has a little balcony of food, barely any food at that? Um, and you have a science background, but you're not really growing food. I'm
Mm,
not seeing the results. So it's like, I'll follow the no name person who has acres of land and is growing food
right.
and showing it how it works and how these techniques are working, whether you believe them or not. I'm gonna follow that person.
Yeah.
They're showing the proof in the pudding, not just talking crap. This person can barely grow one tomato. You're telling me about, oh, that doesn't work and that makes no sense. Some of us don't want to do chemicals. So what were they doing back in the day when there was no chemicals to be used? They were doing something else.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't make any sense. But yes, how he's saying healthy soil. It goes back to the soil.
Mhm.
And some people who grow like me in containers, you have to check your soil because sometimes those eggs and those larvae are hiding in there. And if you leave them and the grubs, you're not going to get any crops. So
True.
part of the soil, hold on. They make a mess with my watermelons. I'll be up at night with my night vision goggles, pew pew, bow and arrow machete. I'm telling you, you can't play with your food, man. You can't play with your food.
She said bow and arrow sandwich.
Yeah,
TC, I can see you sitting out there in the middle of the night.
I'm telling you, I had to have a sniper session already, and it's sitting
right.
like, okay, it's raccoon. You're not gonna beat me at my own. We're
It's
not.
like, don't touch the watermelons.
No, don't touch them. They be watching from the birds, watching from the sky, eyeing your food, and saying, okay,
Yeah,
tomorrow I'm gonna take that.
I
You,
know. I have the birds set right over. They have a wire that goes across, the telephone wire or whatever, not
yeah,
light wire or whatever. Yeah, and they be sitting there chirping and talking. I was like, I know y'all talking about, okay,
yep.
you eat
Talking
this.
about you.
What?
Talking
I'm
about you behind your back, in front of your face.
like, right. I'm
So
like,
look at her. Look at her doing all that work, and I'm going to eat it tomorrow. Look at her.
right, right. That's the one I want to eat. You pick this one.
Look at her doing all that work, and all excited for that meal. And then tomorrow's gonna be all those berries gonna be gone tomorrow.
Right?
They tried to build a nest again, but they know the rules. No
Yeah.
nest on my house. You go in the trees nearby. You leave me alone. I'll leave you alone.
Well, every year for since I've had my garden here, now the second year, um, I always wind up having a baby bird, a marking bird in my garden. I don't
Hmm.
know how they fly out the tree and then they land in the garden, but then I had to fight with the mama because she like, don't mess with my baby, and I'm like, I'm just trying to tend to my garden. I'm like, oh my
I'm
goodness.
telling you, and the father will come and just like poke your eyes out. The rob. Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah,
So
there's
I have to walk out
hair.
with sunglasses and goggles, not because I need them, because I'm like, just in case I don't see them coming,
Right?
like they're gonna hit the plastic before they hit my eye. I'm telling you. But yeah, like you're gonna get bugs, and you actually do want bugs because that means that you're having a healthy environment. You just
Yeah,
gotta learn how to maintain your soil. Because if your soil is healthy and you have enough beneficial insects, it'll balance each other out. If you got to start pulling out, chemicals and sprays, then that means you need to incorporate a predator, a insect
yeah,
predator, to balance out your garden. And that's all that means. So how do you attract the bees and the wasps? Herbs and certain flowers.
yeah.
I thought, oh, I'm not growing no flowers. I'm done with flowers. Wasted my time. Only food. Last year, I had to start bringing in the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Had to because I'm like, there's not enough beneficial insects.
Right.
Last time I grew watermelon, I saw a squirrel run across my fence with a little melon in his mouth. I was yep. And then they fluff their tail at you like, yeah, look at me. So spiteful. And they did that with my tulips. I'm like, what's all those bulbs? Yeah, they dug up my bulbs. They dug up the bulbs
Oh,
and gone off with them. And then they plant them somewhere else and somebody else gets all my expensive flowers. I was so upset. I'm like, really?
right.
Yep.
The neighbors have the squirrels going to get your
Yep.
stuff and plant it in their yard.
Yep. I found a snail yesterday and I moved the little guy, the little to get to the hedgerow that I keep damp. As I put him with all his friends, the little antennas of the snail went wild. Yep. I moved them from the strawberry bed. And this year, for the first time, I put pine shavings in my strawberry bed, which is what
Hmm.
I should have been doing from before. Then they're not laying on the soil. That has been my problem.
Okay.
You
Okay.
cannot leave things on the soil
That
because
is true.
the potato bugs have it's right there in their face, and it's just going to start to get moldy and rotten faster. So I've put pine shavings in the bed, and it's much better. And I turned the soil because it was getting very compact from the rain.
Uh-huh.
So I did a little fork in some of the open areas to fluff it up, and now I'm seeing an improvement because there's sometimes you get compact soil even in your containers. Yeah, you put perlite and all that stuff in there, but it still gets compressed. So you have to fluff it up and
Yeah.
get that oxygen in there.
I need to do the pine shavings definitely because I have been losing my strawberries because it's been on the soil. And then one side looks pretty and red and turn it over and it's all ate up on the other side. I'm like, no. So I'm losing strawberries that way. I gotta put something.
Yeah, exactly. How microbes in the soil rots the berry.
Yes.
And that's exactly. So I'm like, you know what? So sometimes you gotta just take what you see and start to find a solution. Do I need to start spraying some? No, just some pine shavings to keep that barrier between the soil and the fruit. The soil seems to be healthy and fine. And then the other problem is the squirrels digging up my berries. Fine, I can solve that with a barrier of some sort.
Hmm.
And I don't see much slug damage in my strawberry bed, so that's okay. I'm not going to do anything extra. Don't start doing things that's causing more problems. As long as it's balanced, leave the rest alone.
Right.
I don't see the point of once you start adding in all these extra stuff, that's when you start to add more imbalance, and then you're going to have a bigger problem. And last time, I think 2 seasons ago, I had so many spider mites. It
Oh,
was ridiculous. But
yeah.
now that I got the chickens, I don't know if it's the chickens as well. I don't see as many spider mite issues in my garden.
Mhm.
So just trying to, find more herbs and beneficial flowers that brought in other bugs, and I don't have the spider mite issue. There's still some around a little bit, but so small, it's not even worth mentioning. It's such a minor thing.
Hey, growing out the box.
Take her out the box. And LP, if I missed you guys, I'm
Yeah.
just staring off in space. Ew, not for me. I'll call. Oh, for the squirrel. Did you see that man skin that squirrel? Oh my god. Oh my god. I was like, just like literally, cause zip,
Yeah,
zip.
you just take it off like a little
Oh
jacket.
my god. But I'm like, I'm playing the video. You see this man here? That's gonna be you if you don't watch it.
Right? Have the video playing outside. Do you want to be a part of
Yeah,
that?
make your choice now. Make it.
Oh,
But
good.
yeah, all you gotta do is keep the balance going. You're not gonna not have bugs. And for the rest of us, we cover our stuff with mesh because it's not worth fighting certain bugs, especially for the bok choy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have to cover that up. Cabbages, yeah, you can cover them up if you need to because the aphids are a problem, but the white moth can't really get to mine. I'm
Uh-huh.
only covering it for the potato bugs, the earwigs, and the aphids. And if I see an improvement, then next year I know. Just keep up with the bags. Don't
Right.
bother spraying nothing. Leave the soil alone. Just
Mm,
leave it alone. And I
yeah.
put the chicken salad in my beds this year, the manure and the straw and the whatever that they have in their leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And there's already microbes in there. I can see it, I can smell it. So I'm not adding in anything different. Leave
Okay.
it alone.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get down.
No problem, dear.
Yeah, me and my daughter's supposed to have a mother-daughter day, so
Oh, that's nice. Enjoy.
yes, ma'am. But I have enjoyed talking with you.
Until next time, Miss Cece.
Yes, ma'am. All right,
All
bye.
right, take care. Hold on, let me see if I drop this. Did I drop the link again, guys? Okay, there it is. Um, yeah, and just leave the rest alone. Just keep building the soil. My dad's the beds over there, we fill them to the brim with we ordered compost maybe 2 years ago now, and those beds have sunken down significantly. So we're gonna have to buy some more. But we filled the holes that we were planting in with the chicken salad, and they already have good worm action, but we had to do a slight tilling. We don't really till the garden anymore because it was being over tilled, in my opinion. But we're gonna do a slight till with a shovel in the raised beds, just because it was just too compact, just to loosen it a slight bit. But we don't really do a lot of tilling. We kind of try to keep it natural. So we're gonna be adding more compost. What I'm gonna try this year is, since I'm in a cold climate and winter is like the rest time, I am going to hold on, let me see who's coming up. Oh, hey, Howie, hold on, let me bring you in. I'm going to amend the beds in the fall with the chicken manure and let it sit there for the winter instead of doing it in the spring. That's going to be my new thing this year, and see if that makes a difference for the spring. How you doing, Earthling?
Okay. I'm growing a lot of food in a lot of places. So,
I know I see you're harvesting a whole bunch already. I'm like, wow.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Yesterday I was at the Rocky Hill Food Forest with two of my students, and I put up a video this morning of that. And their
Oh,
place
that's good.
going on to almost 5 years, and they're very happy with growing food where there was just bare rock, right?
That's fantastic. I like what you do with your what do you call it again? Oh my god, the layers. The
Oh, Pathway Soil Bank,
that's
yeah.
it. But I was gonna call them swales, but yeah, the pathway soil banks. That, like, to see like the layers and the time and the different nutrients and how you're layering it. That's all we need to be doing. But people
Hmm.
make it so complicated. But they want fast results because we're in a microwave society. They want fast results and fast, and it takes time and generations
Yeah.
of somebody else continuing the work.
Hmm.
So that's what it's about. But yeah, it's soil, all down to the soil health.
Oh, absolutely. If you have healthy soil, you'll have healthy plants.
Yeah. I think some people also don't realize, when we're talking about the bug pressure. I
Yeah,
know for me, most of us were getting, when we first start, we're buying bags of soil from the big box store.
I did it years ago.
Yeah,
Sure.
nothing's wrong with that. But there's stuff
Yeah.
in that bag of soil. And sometimes you're introducing these same bugs that you're complaining about. It
Yes,
came from the bags of compost and stuff. So once you stop having to rely on them for a source of soil and you start doing your own composting and that kind of thing, you'll find that you'll have a better balance in your own yard. Because
absolutely.
yeah, I think
Absolutely.
a broad fork would do. I just purchased, growing up the box, I just purchased a I guess we can call it a pitchfork. That must be the same thing I brought. Yeah, I
Broad
purchased that.
fork, you're aerating the soil. Yeah.
Yes, and it's not so intrusive. It's just a light tossing, and I use that to toss the chicken run
Yeah.
to get, like, turn it.
Yeah.
But they've broken down
Oh,
since
yeah.
they've been here. April has been a year, and I just
Nice.
added the grass from the lawnmower. They've broken down 2 seasons of leaves,
Hmm.
grass. They've broken down a whole bunch of weeds that I've thrown in there, cuttings. That's pure soil. I could smell the microbes in there. I'm like, yes. I don't have to start buying any more compost. I'm just
Smells
gonna be using
fresh,
that
eh?
fresh.
Smells
Yes. The
fresh.
straw, the pine
Doesn't
shavings.
smell skunky or
No, no,
stinky. It's like,
no. What
you know what
smells
that is? You know what
skunky
that
is
fresh
the
smell
flies.
is? You know what that fresh smell? I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No,
You
go
know
ahead.
what
What
that
is it?
fresh smell is?
Mycorrhizal?
No, no, that's negative ions affecting your biorhythm. So you're going in resonance with it. So you're vibing with it.
Oh,
And it's really freaky to understand, but once you see it and feel it, it's like you smell that rain and it
yes,
feels
that's
good.
fresh.
You go to the
Yes.
beach, you go to the beach. Oh, I feel great at the beach. It's because all those negative ions is what your biorhythm needs For a
I think,
residence, you're in tune with nature.
yeah. Funny, because I was watching a video yesterday. It's a 3 hour video, mind you, but I watched maybe an hour of it, and he was talking about that. He's a genius, but he's not formally educated, but he's a genius.
Yeah,
And he's talking about the frequency, like even the periodic table, everything resonates at a frequency, like the perfect pitch of E or whatever the different keys are. And we are literally, your cells
mine
are
is E.
literally vibrating at a frequency. And people who raise bees and are around bees and get in sync with them have better health because you're at a cellular level, you're in sync with that frequency. I
That's
was like,
exactly right. That's exactly
man,
right.
this is
Bees
just
levitate. They don't fly, hey?
I was like, this is like, I was wow.
Bees levitate.
Hmm.
Like people don't understand that. A bee
It's
does
not
not
the
fly.
wings.
It
It's yes.
levitates to resonance.
And I'm like,
It's
and it goes
crazy
back,
stuff.
and like that's exactly how I was thinking, but I couldn't explain it. I'm like, everything is a frequency. And people who have perfect pitch, because my friend has perfect pitch, even when you jingle your keys, he can tell you what note that is. He
Yeah.
can like he has perfect, and everything is a pitch, is a frequency, is a resonance.
Well,
And
back in the day,
mhm.
hippies would go, "I don't want your vibe, man."
Yeah, I don't want your
Right? That's what it was. They didn't want that person's vibe affecting them.
exactly. They're negative.
Exactly.
Actinomycete is the bacteria that gives your compost that earthy smell. I definitely smell it. And I try to limit what I put in there. I do put some DE just to make sure there's no mites and ticks. But other than that, we didn't use as much outside stuff this year. Anything that I did have, I had a couple of bags of soil. They've been sitting out here for over a year because I let them break down. And as you guys know, somebody else in the community had a bad experience with the manure because they bought it fresh and used it and it burned
Raw.
and killed. Yeah, it there was there was something in it that shouldn't have been in it. But that's why I learned from a few years ago. I buy them and I let them sit. I don't
Takes
just
3
use
weeks.
them.
Takes 3 weeks to solarize the plant where that bad bacteria. Like when a farmer goes and sprays manure in his field, he can't harvest anything for 3 weeks. So what
Exactly.
happens when you see a recall at the store? It's because there was raw manure used.
Correct. And
Yeah,
even that solarizing, I know growing up the box does that. I think you do that, but even learned that exactly. I put a tarp over it. I let it kind of
that's
cook in
one
the
way.
sun. Yeah, or wherever you want, however you want to do it. But the point is people need to start doing that. When you bring something out from the big box store, you
To
need to take that extra time to let it break down or solar because you don't know what's in there, or you do know what's in there, but you have no other choice because you got to build your beds back up because
yeah.
I've seen a whole bunch of crap in my bags. But when you solarize it, you can kill some of those larvae, the eggs, those invasive bugs, invasive weeds, and not have the same problems.
In nature, everything's made in layers, okay?
Hmm.
Like 1 inch every 10 years, soil's made in nature in a forest. Okay. So you copy that and you use your coffee grounds, your kitchen waste, your lawn clippings, your chicken manure, your rabbit poo. And as soon as you make more and more and more layers,
Hmm.
then you're copying nature. So what happens is that degrades. Microbes make all toxins inert in that type of growing your food and making that soil. The microbes are your workers, your
Hey,
free
Tori.
workers. Chickens are your free workers. Rabbits are your
Exactly.
free workers. Goats are your free workers. Once you take those out of the picture, you're going to see problems.
And that's exactly what people are doing, not intentionally. They've separated all the key members of the your local ecosystem. Hey, Mama J and Tori, and they're only just doing what's acceptable in our fast-paced society, but then they're wondering why you're having all these problems. Like somebody asked a question, maybe I didn't answer it right, but they said they're getting maggots in their compost bin.
Good.
I've never seen maggots in my bin personally, but I have a lot more maybe oxygen floating through it. I don't know,
Not
but
enough layers, not enough layers, and add some lime and neutralize things, even a little
yeah,
mint oil.
but I've seen worms, I've seen some gnats, but I've never seen maggots unless it's like rotten meat, but
Yeah, if you
you
put it
know.
in like right on top, you're going to have maggot fly come in. But if you put it in and then you cover it with a green brown, it's underneath there. And worms are your best friend. They're the intestines of the earth. They go through and make this beautiful nutrients called worm castings. If you can make a
Exactly.
worm bin and just add it around your plant that you're growing every year, you don't need fertilizer.
You don't. You don't. It's all right
I
there.
don't use fertilizer for anything. I use molasses from Jamaica or Trinidad. There, I like their molasses and
Hmm.
unsulfured. And at the very end, when it starts to the bloom, like my tomatoes or my cucumbers, I'll put a little bit of unsulfured molasses because what
In
happens
there.
is you're multiplying the microbes so that the microbes are breaking down the nutrients and then they're feeding the plant. See, there's a
Ex-
relationship there. But see, when pollen comes from the trees, that's the molasses of nature. That's 40% sugar, well, pollen.
mhm.
Right? So that it does it naturally. So you're just copying nature. You're just helping it along. And if you're growing the ganja or something, it really helps to do that. Like just
Oh,
right
okay. I'm
the
gonna
last
try
three
that with
weeks,
the ganja. Yeah.
the last 3-4 weeks of budding, then you pound that molasses to it heavily, and it'll thicken them right up.
Okay, I'm gonna try that because I have five seedlings that popped up on their own. I didn't have to even plant them. So I have five cannabis. I'm like, oh, I wasn't gonna plant any this year, but I guess you had another plan because they're all up in there living their best life. So
Yes,
one's in ground and four's in the pot.
yeah.
And I know they hate being transplanted, but now they've bounced back and they're okay. So I'll try the molasses for
I,
sure.
I always advocate inoculating your food forest, and like here on Vancouver Island, I would do it in October with the mycelium. I'll go out and any other new food forest. Like I have a couple three on the go. So what I'll do is I'll take my Coleman cooler, any cooler, and then on a cool morning in late October, it could be like late September where you are because you're in the east. Maybe you're like
Hmm.
month behind, but I'm a month ahead here, so it's a little different. But it's all the same ideology. Is I'll go out and I'll look for peach fungus. I'll go out and I'll look for the super highway. You'll see it's like a web. So I'll cut out a piece. I'll put it gently in the box. I'll take it home and I'll put it gently into the food forest, and then that spreads. And then the microbes that break down all that nutrients
Hmm.
that goes on to that mycelium, that superhighway of nutrient delivery, and feeds the whole forest floor or your whole garden. See, you use nature, and the oldest pre-industrial agriculture is hugel culture, and it's from
Yeah.
Morocco,
Yeah.
Africa.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
So
they made
why do
mounds.
people talk against Hugo culture? Because some people were
They
saying
don't know what they're doing.
they have to wait for it to break down and you're actually taking nutrients
They're
from.
not building it properly.
Okay, so that's the point. You have to build it properly
On my
before.
channel, on my channel, there's a
Mm.
Hugel mound building that shows you how in a cross-sectional diagram. That's if you build it improperly, it's just a bunch of mold and bugs and rats.
Oh, we don't want rats.
No, thank you. You know what? You know what? Yesterday there was 15 people and few children came through on a tour here, and all had turkey dinner with me and breakfast and stuff, and they were traveling, so they all went out and looked, and they're looking at everything, and they're amazed that there's so much food here, and they struggle growing a little bit. I said, well, that's the problem right there. You're struggling. You want to thrive. You don't want to survive.
That's exactly true. And food shouldn't be this hard to grow. And if people,
No.
I'm not knocking anyone or anything, but you get to a point where it shouldn't be this. Like I have 24 plants
Yeah.
that planted themselves,
Nice. Volunteers
didn't
are the
do any work,
best.
free food,
Yeah, they're the
volunteers.
best.
I had five volunteer ganja plants. I had this like because the soil was healthy enough that they woke up and germinated themselves. They didn't have to do anything. Didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah.
Just keep building the soil.
I
And
had
some people
spring.
don't do the fundamentals in terms of even compost. Oh, why are you getting maggots? You're going to have to probably do a bit more digging because you're not always going to get an answer from during a live And like sometimes you got to do a bit more digging. So until
Yeah.
you know what you're doing, maybe you should just simplify it, and then you start expanding
Yeah.
about, oh, these are weeds. Let me give it to the girls. A little limp. But put meat in their compost. I do not.
You know what?
It's
You
not
know what?
worth it for me in the city to do that. In the country, yes. In the city, not so
That's what I
much.
was just gonna say. In the country, you're a little better off, but in the city, you put them in a freezer bag and you get a big bag full, and then when you have a fire, you throw them all on the fire, the bones and the meat, whatever. It cooks up into a nice meat bone biochar. You're rocking. That's how
Exactly. So that's when you would bring in the biochar. But people are just throwing it in the compost in an urban environment and not
you're gonna get
understanding
rats.
the repercussions of that choice. Yeah. And the smells and the maggots and the lack of airflow. So sometimes you're better, yeah, freeze them, put them there, and then you burn them. You have
Yeah.
to you have to take things in the proper context because it's not a one size fits all. If
No.
you're in the city, you can't. I don't put meat in my, yeah. I do freeze my meat. I freeze my bones. I freeze any, animal skin, chicken skin, but I don't
Yeah.
put them in my compost bin.
No. No.
And some things I'm better off cooking them and giving them to my chickens and
Yeah.
letting them poop them out. That's
Yeah.
easier for me in my situation.
Grinding
So,
up your bones into bone meal too with like a $5 little tiny hand crank from the thrift store, that works beautiful.
mhm.
The smaller
Oh
it
yeah,
is,
and
the easier the microbe can handle it and break it down even further. And that way soluble nutrients are taken out and it's able to move around. It's all in your approach. If you approach that you're the master of nature, you're going to be the disaster of nature.
you have
Simple
to
as
come with
that.
humbleness, right? Humbleness of heart and mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
are just a steward of it. You're not, we're just
You don't
stewards.
own this earth. You belong here. Once humans start thinking like that, we'll propel forward and it'll be a better place for everyone.
Ain't
Yeah.
that the truth?
That's why I call everybody earthlings.
I know exactly why. We're all just stewards on this place, and we have to each do our part. And people think, well, I can do what I want over here and mind your business. No, it's all interconnected. Your poisons over there are going to reach over here too. Like we have to be all on the same page together. I saw my parents' neighbor that I told off last year for spraying chemicals for the damn dandelions. Um, so he don't say hi, which I really don't care because he was all
Oh,
the
you're
way
not
wrong.
going to stay awake at night because he didn't
Yeah,
say hi? Jesus.
but he was all the way wrong. There's no reason to spray
Do you
dandelions.
know how you get him to stop spraying? You ask him to take his shoes off and his socks off and walk around on the soil for 5 minutes. And he'll do earthing and he'll become grounded and realizes the error of his ways. There is no other way to
Take
tell
care,
people
Professor
they're
Fire.
wrong because they already know they're bloody wrong.
Yeah, he knows. And then you have your children there playing in the yard that you just sprayed. Like,
I've
make it
seen
make
dogs
sense.
die of it. So,
Make it make sense. Like, all you have to do is mow your lawn. If you mow your lawn on time, then they're not going to spread.
no,
Fine, it won't be a perfect lawn, but you won't see these dandelions just sticking out. Like, there's really no choice. There was really
I
no
love
like.
dandelions.
So do I. They're powerful herb, but people think they're weeds. They've been believing the propaganda.
Well, of course, you want to sell Roundup, you're going to say
You know.
dandelions are bad. Dandelions are good. It's the first thing for a liver cleanse when you come out of winter in the northern hemisphere is to eat your dandelions raw and cooked and eat the root too. And
Hmm.
that is the best liver cleanse you'll ever get because you're toxic coming out of winter in Canada. For about 4 months, you're eating toxic crap, maybe even longer, depending on if you can grow a few,
Yep.
you know. But
That's
I
the
must
first thing that
go.
grows and attracts the pollinators in the
Yeah,
spring, the dandelions.
I
That's
have
an
a
excellent
student.
coffee alternative as well, right? The roots.
You're the best. I love you. I have to go. I wish I could stay, but I have a student here and I'm going to get into
Oh,
trouble.
no problem. Take care, Howie.
You take care.
Thanks for
Love
coming up.
everybody. Yeah, it was great
Love you
being
too.
here,
Bye.
Urban. Take care.
No problem. Thanks, Earthling. But yeah, I'm just doing some work, guys. I'm just plugging in stuff, and this is all going to be cleaned up and gone because I am sick of this mess and clutter. But there are some unfinished projects that were pending. and the individuals haven't gotten them done yet. I'm seeing a lot of what you call it, sawdust, and that means that the carpenter bees are under there doing that kind of stuff. So all this stuff's got to clean up. So don't judge me. It'll be addressed. It's just you can't do one thing until some of these projects have been completed, and then I can clean up. So let me just plug in this so I can plug in the charger in my phone before it goes dead. Um, but yeah, you have to do things in its proper context. So, you know, even though you get information from people on a live or in a video, you have to do some more research because you have to apply it to your situation. And some people who live on farms can do certain things because it's such a big plot of land. They're not affecting anybody. They use the maggots to feed their chickens. Like there's a whole other rhyme and reason for what they do. But you may not be able to apply those in the urban setting. So you have to modify it, but you need to understand the basic principles. And composting is an excellent thing to do. But that does not mean that you just put any and anything in your urban compost bin and you just, throw it in there because you don't want to attract things that are going to be a problem for your neighbor either. Yes. My storage room is full of, oh, girl, no, I'm getting it cleaned up. I can't, I told my family this is not going to continue, especially when we don't have people over. So they're going to have to help me get these projects finished. Hold on, I want to face the camera front. And we're not doing that this year because all of these things are clogging up that area that should be open for socializing and seating. But I can't throw the stuff away because we got to finish off the roof that was done, but it wasn't done right and it's leaking. Okay, so this is on. I'm gonna plug in the battery, and I got to do some painting. So we have a spray gun. I'm gonna paint some things myself. The fence line because people don't want to do it for me. Okay, it's charging. And that, but yes, we have to understand the fundamentals. So I know Howie has always been, and he's still talking about um the layering, which he just told me what it was called, and I forgot again. Oh, pathways, soil bank pathways. These basic principles you do need to understand because even though he's doing it in a permaculture setting and he's teaching people and he has students, um, he's doing it on the land. Those same principles can still be applied, especially in your compost bin, and then you put that compost into your containers or your raised beds. Um, I don't put any table scraps in my compost. No smell, no flies, no maggots. Yeah, all I see is hey rock. All I see is some worms. I do see some gnats, like those kind of flies, but the gnats are just in my yard anyways. I don't put cooked food. Cooked food now goes to the chickens anyways, and then they poop it out. But other than that, I've never put food like that in my compost. That goes to our organics garbage waste. They have organics, recycling, and actual garbage. So that goes into the organics. I don't put cooked food in my compost. We weren't raised that way. It wasn't like I have some epiphany. My parents weren't raised that way. Cooked food went to feed your dogs and your livestock. We didn't put it in a compost bin because you're gonna get maggots. And unless you want to breed the maggots to feed your livestock like chickens, you're gonna end up with more flies because maggots turn into flies. So that you have this cycle of problem that you are actually creating. Read it. I have a ton of cardboard to shred and put in the compost bin. Once I complete that, it will be fine. Just have to. I also put the cardboard down as the walkway, and the rain and me trampling on it breaks it down to nothing. Once it's a little soft and mushy and like a clump, I throw it in the compost bin. I don't shred nothing. At this point, I'm just, nah, I can't be bothered. Not that I can't be bothered, but I let some of the work be done for me naturally. I line the raised beds with that. I line the walkways between my raised beds because you will see in my tour when I do the video, there were so many weeds we had to weed whack between the beds, but I had to suppress those weeds. So I could put down the fabric, but I have a lot of boxes for free from all those Amazons. So I just cut up boxes, I put them in between. I don't put rocks on them or any mulch, and then just let them break down, and then I dump them in the bin after. I put them to line the chicken part of the chicken run, like the tunnel. I have a tunnel to go from outside to inside. I put cardboard under there so that the stones don't get dirty. The girls break it down for me. And yeah, some people put meat in the compost. Like if I was living on a farm, I would. But I would feed the maggots to the chickens. Some I know one of the farmers, one of the big channels, I forgot his name, if he's like a 1 million subscriber channel. He puts the meat in a bucket with holes and then the maggots drop out and the chickens eat it. So there's a way you can incorporate it with your livestock and ducks, they eat the maggots. But I don't have that situation, so I don't need to. I would cook the meat down to the bone and grind it up and use that as biochar, as Howie said. Biochar is your best friend. If you're into permaculture, biochar is your best friend. Biochar is basically charcoal. When you burn wood and certain things, natural stuff, and you get the ashes and you put that in there, all those nutrients are going to be building up your soil. So that's something that I would do here is the biochar. Any other food, these six ladies will eat it for me. If they can't eat it, then I'll use the biochar. So don't do you not get a bunch of ants under the cardboard? Not where I am. I do get ants, but I f- I don't mind them under the cardboard because they were all over my cucumbers and stuff before, and the certain squashes up top. But no, I don't get a lot of it. But I see a lot of potato bugs for sure and worms under the cardboard. Ants, not any more than usual, but I do have an ant problem on a particular side. That could be because I have a lilac bush over there, and maybe that attracts aphids, and then aphids are liked by ants. It could be something going on in the soil up there and up top there. It could be a soil issue, what's going on. But I do have ants, but not anything excessive. But yeah, um, and most likely it was already a nest in the ground there. You just didn't know, and you put the cardboard down, you disturb their exit and their entrance everywhere. No, no, I wouldn't worry. And just put some DE down if you're concerned. But no, I don't have excess. I didn't have excessive ants. No, I'm looking to see. No, and then right there I have a bald patch. I need to put some more grass seed down because that's where I walk during the winter time to get to the egg nesting boxes. So I have to rebuild right there, and that's where the rain falls and this floods. So I'm trying to rebuild some of the areas in the soil that have to have more grass and clover to absorb the water. Our yard is full of ants, brown, black, red mounds. That's probably why. They're they're underneath those places and you just didn't know, and then they get upset that you put cardboard down and they start, they're very temperamental. They're very temperamental. But I do have ants. I believe the whole world is underneath us has ant tunnels, and if we're not careful, they're going to just make our houses sink down into the ground if we don't behave ourselves. But there's ant tunnels everywhere. Ant mounds. You may think you killed the ant mound. They've gone somewhere else and they have another exit somewhere else. They're not gone. They're everywhere. They're so quiet when I'm out here, but when I'm not here, they're all kind of fighting going on with these chickens. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, but I think the cardboard for me, I use it as a walkway, let it kind of break down, and then I can just throw in the compost after. I just don't have the physical energy to be shredding and chop and all that stuff I used to do. My elbow, it was hurting me. I twisted something out. No, I have to start acting my age. And you're at the age where an injury can knock you out for weeks, and I don't have time to be knocked out for weeks. I have several plants right now to plant. I've been talking to you guys. Thanks for the talk. I can get back hype and start to plant again. I have to buy some more soil, but I'm trying to mix and match the soil from all the other empty containers first because I would prefer to leave that soil just sitting out. I have three more bags of soil that's been here for over a year because I don't like using soil that I just purchased. There's too much stuff in it. You have to let it compost down a little more and solarize it. If you don't know what solarizing is, Growing Out the Box has a good video on that. It makes perfect sense. He explains it, and that's what you need to do because it kills some of those seeds and those weeds, and then it's less work in the long run when you practice these techniques. Trust me. So next year, I'm probably going to solarize two of those beds. Even though I got a whole bunch of volunteer plants, there's a lot of weeds that are coming up. So I might have to sprinkle old-fashioned borax laundry detergent for the ants, Tigsy. hmm I might have to solarize two of those beds, and the other third bed hasn't been used yet. It's been sitting with rabbit manure. I'm going to add chicken salad, so it's just been there composting. So that's ready to plant in. And the fourth bed I just assembled, it's being set up now. I'm gonna put cardboard down, chicken salad. I'm gonna get the rabbit droppings from my coworker, and I'm gonna use that bed this year. I'm taking a risk because I'll have to buy soil and fill up the bed, which is not my ideal. But if I buy the soil, fill the bed now, put tarp on it for a week, I can solarize it for a week, and then transplant those things in there that are still growing in that container. So I might be able to work it out in time to still plant. That way I can kill any potential invasive pests, insects, any kind of weeds, anything like that. I can kill them with the heat of the sun that's now in this peak May and June and get rid of those things. It makes my life easier. Hey Hudson, we got to work smarter, not harder. And solarizing destroys good and bad microbes too. Okay, so what I'll probably do, I'll solarize it, but I won't put all the rabbit and chicken salad in there. I'll put some, build it in layers, solarize it, and then I'll add more chicken salad and stuff on top, turn it, and then I'll plant in it with gloves because I'll be handling raw chicken salad. Just so hey, AR Patriot, microbes too. That's the only thing. So you take the good with the bad. You got to do what's best for that particular bed. It's okay. The other beds, I'm not solarizing. I'm just going to turn it and add more um or I'll solarize the bags of dirt that I've purchased, but not the bed itself. Maybe I'll put it in a separate thing, solarize that, put it on some tarp, solarize it on the lawn, and then throw that in the bed without interfering with the chicken salad or the rabbit manure. I'll find a kind of modified way to do it because I don't want to destroy the good microbes, especially when I'm getting it fresh from the animals here. So just kind of modify things, but you have to do your a bit of research. So just composting. So yeah, I'm composting because all you guys are composting. Yeah, you can compost, but there's a whole way to layer things. You layer it, you know, I think it's brown, green, like so green stuff, cardboard, leaves, and you keep layering it, and all those layers protect the smells from coming up and offers that dry layer in between, and the worms will move things around and turn it for you. I add some pine shavings with manure sometimes, and I just layer it. So I don't have a lot of smells or odors in my bin because I'm not just putting greens, and cuttings. You have to layer your stuff. So I think a lot of us have to go back to the foundation of how things are supposed to be done and apply those foundational principles because we're getting frustrated because it doesn't work. It does work. You're just not using the foundational principles. You got to use the principles. Those techniques have not changed. That's why the girls don't smell. They have droppings, but I add straw. I add weeds and they turn that. I add grass clippings. I add more pine. I add more, pine shavings, or I add the straw and they keep turning it. And then occasionally I'll add DE just to make sure there's no mites or whatever. But they're turning that. It's not just straight manure, it's not just straight leaves. It's a constant layering. When I went and took the pitchfork and lifted it up, you could see the layers that have broken down, and those leaves have turned into the richest soil. Oh my goodness. Let me keep up with the chat. You will be okay because you have compost. Just load it down with organic matter afterwards. The biology will return within 24 hours as long as there is Organic. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Right, that's the key. I layer in my bins too. They never smell. Exactly. I miss my garden. My tiller motor rings went out. I like growing things. Yeah, you had a garden, I remember. I don't have a motor tiller. I have to go and till that part. What I purchased this week, and I trust me to go and find this thing was a needle in a haystack. I went to 2 locations. They're telling me there's 5 in stock. I'm looking on every aisle, it's not there. At the second location, and me and his other man were looking for the same item. We started to work together. He found them. They were in the back. They weren't on the shelf. So he found my sister, and then she's like, he thought it was me because we look alike. And I'm like, no, no, no. She called me, and then he goes, oh, because he had 2. He goes, they're in the back. They're not out. So I went and found it. Anyways, it's a long story for nothing. It's a scraper. It's not an action hoe. It's a scraper, like a blade, and you can scrape the weeds, but you're not tampering with the roots. I don't know if you guys have this tool. I'm gonna do a video clip of that and the 3 things that I bought as part of quote unquote prepping slash supplies that you need. And it's like a razor blade almost, and you cut the weeds. Similar to like an action hoe, how the action hoe scrapes the weeds, but it's less invasive. So you don't have to even there's like literally if you're into the no till, literally no till. You only till the parts that you're gonna actually plant in, amend that part, and that's it. Then I'm gonna just cover those beds with chicken salad. Turn it a little bit, but just cover it with chicken salad and compost and let it sit on top and let the worms do the mixing for me. I'm not tilling nothing. That is almost a perfect patch right there. It's still a bit compacted, but I'm gonna leave it alone, and you guys will see. I'll show you guys that tool. If you guys don't have an action hoe, and an action hoe is not a street worker, a lady of the night, it's an actual tool. Get an action hoe and get this blade, especially if you don't have the energy and strength to be digging and pulling weeds and fighting with weeds. Um, it's a lot of weeds to be pulling here, especially with the patio stones. And then we're also getting the torch to burn the weeds between the patio stones that you attach to your barbecue tank. Um, because spraying Roundup is not, I don't want to do that. I can't keep up with pulling them out manually. It's too much. I don't want to. I know that vinegar with soap and stuff works on a hot day, but it's just too much to balance and grow food and have the place looking presentable so that people can, come over and it's not looking like a hot mess. So I'm getting the torch to burn these ones in the stony area. I did cover some of the parts with fabric, but I don't want the whole thing to be a fabric thing. Yeah, I'm just laughing. But yeah, not a street for lady of the night. It's a whole those are 2 tools that you could find useful if you have an actual backyard. If you have it as containers, you don't need that stuff. Disregard what I'm saying. But if you have an actual beds and raised beds and stuff, even my flower beds, there's a lot of weeds that grow in between the flowers. I can just cut off the tops and leave the roots in the ground. Will they grow back? Maybe, but I'm not interfering with the microbial action in the soil. Do I have to go cut it again? Probably, but that's at least going to look presentable while I'm maintaining my garden. That's what I'm doing. Now I smell something that smells stinky, but again, I do mulch. I used to mulch, not so much anymore. I was mulching those beds. It was sorry, I'm looking at these bees. There's 2 bees there and there's 2 bees here. They're getting out of hand. The mulching was costing too much to keep up with the mulching. So I only buy a certain amount of bags. So I mulch the part that people are going to see the most to suppress those weeds. I probably am due for mulch, but because on this side my hostas and my lilies and my irises grow so big, they cover the soil, so you're not going to see it. My other side, because there's a tree there, those plants are inhibited. So I'm going to plant some more irises on that side and a couple of more hostas, and that acts as a living mulch, kind of, sort of. But no, I'm not mulching as much, and I'm not really keen on buying mulch because I don't know what they're using on the mulch. So I will use the straw from the feed store. It's a bit better, or the pine shavings. But no, I'm not mulching like I used to. Not as much as I used to. So I'm gonna just plant some more flowers on those sides. I put some pinks there. Those are looking good. And another plant. I'm gonna transfer some of the seedlings over around to fill up those areas. There's something that keeps growing that looks like it could be rhubarb or it could be burdock. I don't think it's burdock. I think it's rhubarb. And no matter what I do, they keep taking over. So I'm gonna dig them up and then plant more flowers to kind of suppress them from growing. That's what I'm gonna do. Everything else, and I'm gonna plant more comfrey. I think I have comfrey right there. I'm gonna transplant it. It does not like the pot, and I'm gonna plant two more things of comfrey. I think they're dust bathing. I hear somebody splashing around. These girls are too much. Um, and take it from there. But I do need to put something on these pots because this year there's nothing but weeds on top of my pots. I don't know. I didn't. I just yanked them out for the chickens. To be honest, that's just free chicken feed for me. So I don't mind as much as I used to. And I'm gonna plant some more lavender. There's a big bush there. I'm gonna plant some more on that side. That acts as a good living mulch over there, and as well as a bug deterrent. And I haven't seen or heard of the rat for a long time. Um, I invested in a mulch chipper for that very reason. I was spending too much on. Yeah, first year mulching moringa. Have cypress trees on the property line. See, I was looking at that. I'm not gonna get one yet, but the mulcher is probably gonna be what I'm gonna get. Mulch costs two, even if you pay $3 for a bag or two like on sale 2.79. I need several bags just for it adds up. So I'm kind of trying to cut costs and putting those money towards fruit trees and berry plants and perennial plants, stuff like that. Yeah, mulch ain't cheap, but mulch does look great and it works. But once you start expanding your garden, you need to have something else besides mulch. I mean, buying mulch. It's too expensive. And it's too many, there's way too many chemicals on that mulch. I can tell you for a fact. I'm smelling some odors on them this year. I'm like, if I can get a chip drop or something over here, like they do, I heard they have that stuff over here too. Because a lot of the elementary schools get the chip drop and they mulch their trees on the property. But that's a school, that's like a government institution, so maybe they get a deal. I don't know if I'm gonna get access to that, but I'll try. And then put some mulch all around. What are you guys doing? But yeah, I'm not gonna be mulching anymore. But I'm gonna call it a day, guys. Thank you for. I think I've been on here for what? Can't even tell. Over maybe 2 hours of chitter chat. Oh, 2 hours and 17 minutes. There it is. I'm gonna go. Thanks for coming and popping in. We will. I can go live on Saturday. I'm not. The rental property is ready to go and it's on the market. So um, we'll be going back and just tidying it up and stuff. But that pressure is kind of done. Just waiting for it to sell. And but I'll be here on Saturday for my usual live. Purchase a 10 horsepower mulcher for $150 off marketplace. I had a bad experience with City Mall. Oh, okay. Have a blessed rest of your day. Yes, take care, everybody. Have a blessed day. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I'm going to continue transplanting, and I have to record 2 videos today, so I'll be doing that for the rest of the afternoon. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I haven't eaten yet. Did my intermittent fasting. So I'm gonna go eat something right now, and I will see you guys on Saturday. Remember, today is Tuesday, so I don't remember. I think there's a live today. I don't know if African's going live today for his Trill Tuesday, but tomorrow is Wind Down Wednesday. Wednesday's also Miss Ellen Pankey. Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Yep. And today I think Vision Preparedness is going live today. Uh, there is no Tori's Brain on Friday. He had a live yesterday, Thursday, because some of the usual people are taking a break because I know there's an event coming up, so they may not be going live. Also, I haven't been to her live in a while, but I think oh my god, Crystal, I forgot her channel name. Oh yeah, T Nog is going live tonight. Thank you. Crystal, what's her channel name? Oh my god, I can't remember her name. I see her face right now and her smile, but can't remember. And Miss Shirley OG goes live on Thursdays with Pescatarian. Um, Odom's going live on Thursday as well. Um, Planter Garden usually goes live on Thursdays as well. Gina went live last Friday, so I think she's taking this Friday off. That's it. Whole new thank you. Whole new perspective. I think she goes live on Thursdays, give or take. Don't hold me to that, but she goes live. Um, there's a whole bunch of people who go live. Get in where you fit in. I know Superfood Parents. I'm usually in there. I think she's Tuesdays and Thursdays. Um, yeah, check them out. See what's going on. Jegs is going live. Jegs has a second channel as well. He's putting his honey stuff on the second channel. Um, and then I guess he's gonna keep this channel as the gardening, his J3GS Farms. So support his second channel as well. And I'll see you guys in these streets, and also support CC's Texas Garden. She was on the panel earlier, and Food Forest Permaculture. He goes live frequently as well. He will help you with the permaculture stuff and the techniques. You have to just sit there and listen and apply it. It's not going to be, always in the form that you want all the entertainment, but the fundamentals, just listen to the fundamentals. Okay, guys? Hey, Texas La La in the bushes and all the bush crafters, thank you for being in the bushes. We'll talk to you soon. And just plant some stuff, guys. Just do what you can and start where you can. Okay? Blessings.